I am Mr. Eager DM at your service, and we welcome you one and all to Trapped at Home, a live stream Dungeons and Dragons broadcast brought to you by Lawful Stupid RPG. Thank you for being here to witness our playthrough of Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. Joining us, as always, we have Typhon the Wizard, Persephone the Bard, Falkrunn the Cleric, Jax the Rogue, Silas the Paladin Fighter, and joining us now for good and always, we have Zelmira the Monk. What of Rhimb, I hear you ask? I hear you ask.
What of Rhimb?
Ah, indeed. Hopefully, we will resolve Rhimb's fate relatively soon.
Where's my rims?
Also, Persephone's player is indisposed and will be joining us via audio only, or maybe not even that, until further notice. It is up to her. She's got a lot going on in her life right now. Very well. My friends, it is time. I extend my hand, inviting you to step with me into fantasy. Release your hold on that which you know to be true, and let imagination rule for the next few hours. Last time, Conscript Group 14 created an ambush for Feanor the Pale, a powerful necromancer and warlord of Avernus. The odds were heavily against them, but thanks to surprise and a well-defended position, they were victorious. However, in the closing moments of the battle, Lulu the Hollyphant, a beloved friend and guide, was slain by two Mezzaloths, insect-like demons from the plains of Gehenna. Instantly upon her death, her body was reduced to sparkling glitter as her spiritual form returned to its native plane of Celestia. Stunned by this loss, the adventurers nevertheless pressed on with their plan. Casting the spell given to them by Mahadi, Yslin's soul was removed from the borrowed body of Rhimb. She then possessed the unconscious form of Feanor and successfully ripped her soul from her body, shunting it to a waiting receptacle. Ysline has been restored to a form more suited to her nature, but the lifeless body of Rhimb lies before you. Adventurers, what do you do?
Did we win?
We did. And we need to get this vessel back to Mahadi immediately. Though I think a brief rest would be in order for us to regather our strength.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I could definitely use some healing. You were rather brutal on this body.
Well, before we do that, we should put Rhimb back. One, it makes no sense to drag his corpse all over. At the same time, we may need him in the days to come.
Well, I'm certainly not opposed to it.
It will take some time, correct, Falkrunn?
I'll need an hour, but I have
Yes.
the resources to do it. We'll
Then
also
perhaps
to break the coin. I don't know exactly how to do that.
Well, that seems to be an important step.
I believe we were told the method, weren't we, DM? Wasn't there two ways we were told?
There is, it can be destroyed with a hellfire weapon, or,
We can ask
remove
the
curse?
soul-
remove curse, yes.
Yeah.
Oh. And that's the ways to do it without damaging the soul inside. Because we could also, ask Rhimb the 3 questions, or I think there's only 2 at this point. But
No.
No, it's still 3, but that actually just destroys the soul.
never mind then.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
But yes,
I'm not here, I can't
hellfire
talk.
weapon, and
Remove curse.
Ysline hears that, and she sort of creates a dagger in her hand that has a burning flame within it. You've seen her use weapons like this in the past. She says, I think this might suffice.
Then let's make sure we pull back into another defensible position. No reason not to use it again. while you do your thing. I could regain a significant amount of power if I can just sit for a little while. Is anyone of a similar state? Or are there those of you who can keep watch?
I can stay and watch. I'm perfectly fine.
Good.
Isolde is sort of standing and sort of moving around, and it's a little odd to see her, Feanor, moving with similar grace to what you've seen in the past, and she sort of stretches and trying things out, and she looks at you all, looking at her, and she says, "Oh, would this be better?" And she changes into the drow form that you've seen her before.
Does anyone want a rat kebab?
I'm all right, Jax. Thank you.
Thank you, Jax. I think I may have preferred the demonic aspect rather than this one.
Well, it does feel more comfortable, that's for sure. Wouldn't you agree, everyone? I'm quite pleased. Things have worked out more or less.
We're not quite finished yet, but I'm glad you're still here, Isolde. All right. Silas, help me carry Rhimb into the inside.
Assuming the war machines still have their coin energy, can we pull them closer to the entrance and actually create like a little barricade?
Indeed. Smiler climbs inside Golden Doom.
Not until we've searched it, friend. You allowed the war machine, its contents were not discussed.
That seems to be a little hair-splitting, wouldn't you say? Deal in good faith.
Let me give it a once-over. I do like it.
Have it your
Splitting
way.
hairs is necessary to survive in this place.
As I'm
You
walking
know
away
that
with
very
Falkrunn,
well.
I just yell out, "And it could be trapped."
Oh, shit. Oh. That's what
That's
I come in
a
handy
good
for.
point. Yes, have at it, little goblin. Please.
I'll go and search.
I will actually I will help. Are you
Jax,
proficient in
be careful.
investigation?
Me, I get advantage.
Well, so would I.
What's your plus?
7.
I've got a plus 8.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, I think I have a +9.
All right.
Because I think it's higher than yours.
Whip it out, boys. Who's
It's a +9.
Come on.
We
It's
measuring
all
I will-
proficiencies now? Is that what we're up to? Okay.
I will guide you and aid you.
Oh, go on then, Typhon. I'll let you look. Billy
well-
Big Bollocks.
I whispered it by accident. I rolled a 5 and a natural 1 for a 14.
All right.
You've got guidance.
There's a dusty, sort of dry, rotting sort of scent to Golden Doom. Obviously, having been crewed entirely by undead, that is no doubt the source of it.
And excuse my interruption, but guidance brings it to an 18.
An 18. Right. Well, you look very thoroughly. It seems strange that Feanor would be traveling with such a Spartan vessel, but she, aside from a few things to eat and some drink and some cushions to make the interior part of the war machine more comfortable, you do not find anything other than what she had on her person. No doubt a wizard of her level would have numerous ways of hiding things away and retrieving them whenever she needed them.
I do not believe that there has to be more here. She has a spell book. She must. You have not found everything.
Who has the vessel?
I do?
The vessel with the pestle?
Is that what this is about? You want my spell book?
We do sometimes cannibalize each other in our pursuit of dominance.
Well, you will not find it anywhere here. Release me. Perhaps we could come to some sort of arrangement. But it and all of the things I consider valuable are hidden away, protecting them from insects such as yourself.
That is quaint, Feanor. I'm going to disallow you to say anything more to me, and I will come back in 2-3 hours. I can only imagine what that time will feel like to you in your current state. When I come back, you will have one more chance to tell me where these things lie before we hand over your very essence to the one who desires it most. Goodbye. And I will disallow communication with the Ring of Mind shielding.
Got it. No problem. Short rest. Let's see. So then we'll take some.
She should be
dice to
pretty
heal
close
up.
to full.
Can I?
Not anymore.
Oh, all right.
She's in the body of Feanor.
Oh,
Feanor has a hit point.
that's right. Fair.
Can I short
Probably
rest
a
while
ton
I'm
of hit
watch?
dice.
DM?
What was the question?
Can I short rest while on watch?
Yes. The entire group is basically once you've moved the fleet of infernal machines that you all have closer to the entrance into the wrecked flying fortress, you all gather inside and have a short rest while Falkrunn begins her preparations. Smiler walks over to Typhon and Jax. Satisfied?
Yes.
Well, do you think we'll be leaving soon? I have a rather important appointment. Getting here as quickly as I did, well, I made certain arrangements and, need to go take care of that. But I don't want to go across the fire plains by myself, so just wondering when we all could be on our way.
We'll be here at least hour and 10 minutes more.
Very well, very well. Well, I will just make sure that I can get everything back where it's supposed to be. And he goes into the Golden Doom and starts messing around with it. So, Falkrunn, what are you doing?
So, having Silas and I have moved Rhimb into, I think the first floor would be all right. Trying to lug him up several flights is not ideal for anybody. So, we go ahead and lay his body out, and then I begin.
And as you're moving him, it's clearly just a dead body. It's limp.
Yeah.
It's completely lifeless.
I have reached across as Silas is helping me and sort of put my hand on his shoulder and be like, you took an awful beating, but I'm so very thankful for you. And then go ahead and heal you for 10 points there, Silas. So, all right. If you would assist me, I would welcome the aid.
Yes.
And Falkrunn pulls out the diamond that she'll need, and she begins to sort of she goes to the top, goes to Rhimb's head and sort of just cradles it in her hands as she holds the diamond in her palms, sort of at the base of his skull and just starts to pray.
So, about that soul coin. I believe it is somewhere here on Rhimb's body. Right over here, if I'm not mistaken. And she reaches into one of the packs that is still on Rhimb and pulls out a soul coin. Sort of holds it up. This is the one. It's the only one I've had. She places it on the floor next to Rhimb. And she says, oh, and of course. And then she reaches to Rhimb's hands and she pulls off. Looks like she's going through the motions of pulling off gloves, but you don't see her doing anything. You don't see anything in her hands, but as she pulls the gloves away, they become visible. And she folds them up and puts them in a pouch on her person. Eastlyn is standing there with Silas and Falkrunn.
I'll need you to destroy the soul coin to free his soul.
Very well.
Well, Raise Dead is a spell I can cast. The soul has to be willing to rejoin the body. So,
well, now wouldn't it be something if that wasn't the case?
you would be free. In either case.
Very well. If you're ready.
I am.
She pulls out her Hellfire dagger again. Unless she looks at you, Silas. You know him better than I do. Do you have a problem with me sending his soul to the afterlife? It's essentially killing him. Seems a little unfair given how useful he's been to me.
Given what he has been enduring since we came here, either way, you're doing him a favor.
Very well.
Being inside that coin, I could think of a few people that would deserve it, but he's not one.
Well then, I hope this works. And she brings down the dagger on the soul coin. The fire pierces into it, and there's a squealing sound as she drives the dagger into the coin, which seems to resist it a little bit, then begins to glow with a black sort of crackling energy, and then shatters into 3 pieces. The crackling energy dissipates, goes inert, and there are 3 pieces of somewhat flaky and fragile-looking metal where the skull coin once was. Rhimb. In your torment, there is a sudden upheaval. You feel yourself thrust into the air and falling. The torment that you've been enduring is falling around you, a maelstrom of chaos and pain, but you are falling faster in it. Down, 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 into a dark abyss, leaving far above you the red, roiling mass of pain and torment you've been enduring for what seems like most of your life. As you fall in the darkness, the sensation changes. You're no longer falling down, you're being pulled up. And the darkness around you begins to brighten, 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 until you have to close your eyes, but you force them open because what you are seeing is so incredibly beautiful. Just move you here. You open your eyes and look out. You are floating. Spread out before you is a vast, verdant forest, teeming with life and beauty. Rivers of clear water reflect colors that you've never seen before as their surface ripples. There's a scent in the air like the first rays of morning on dew-covered clover. The bounty all around you promises sun-gilded days of adventure and fellowship with friends, and still solitary meditations under a blanket of stars. The memory of your torment seems to fade with each full, cleansing breath. And in the distance, as you begin to sink down into this arboreal paradise, there rises an impossibly tall mountain that sparkles like crystal. What do you do, Rhimb?
Do I see any beings that I recognize in this place of peace?
Make a perception check.
I can do that again. 16.
You land in and amongst the trees. You look around and there's life. You hear the sound of what could be laughter. You could pursue it or not. It is your choice. But as you look around, you see something flash, something golden. And then you see Lulu fly out from the trees and crash into you with great force.
My friend.
Rhimb! Oh, I'm so happy to see you!
There are tears streaming down his face. What are you doing in this place?
Oh, I died. But I'm so glad that I got to see you. This is the Bytopia. It's a part of Celestia. That's the mountain over there. And if you look up beyond the sky, you can see the other part of Bytopia. It's sort of, the two face each other. They share a sky.
So,
This is the Dorthian Forest. I think you'll be very happy here.
is this where I'm meant to be?
Well, Celestia is vast. And there's nothing stopping you from exploring at all. I could show you.
I would like that very much. And he's...
Rhimb, you've had a hard time.
So have you.
Yeah. It feels... Well, at the same time, feels good and what's right to be here, but I think there's more that I was supposed to do.
I think there's more I'm still supposed to do too. Perhaps I can take your burden from you until we can be reunited in this place once more.
Oh, that's very sweet. Well, at any rate, get to experience a little bit.
It's like nothing I've ever imagined.
That's what everybody says. Well, come over here.
And she begins to show you around, just skipping from site to site. The wonderful ways and whims of heaven. Falkrunn,
Follow her.
on the plains of Avernus. What do you say to Ilmater?
Blessed broken God, Father of the suffering, here is a soul who has been tormented and is in need of your guiding light. Bring him home to whatever salvation he wishes to seek. If here, to aid his friends, or in the next life, bring him peace. Please.
You cast your spell. The diamond in your hands turns to a liquid substance, which then pours over the silver-scaled body of your friend Rhimb. Seeps in. And there is a subtle glow that begins to suffuse the body and you and those who stand nearby, looking down on this dragonborn who has long been absent. And in Celestia, Rhimb, there is a slight pain, like a stiff muscle. It catches your arm as you are following Lulu and holds you in place. And Lulu stops and turns to look at you and says,
Oh. Well, that wasn't much time at all.
Lulu, I don't think it's my time. I endured the torment of that coin so I could return to help you and our friends. I promise I'll be back.
Our friends do need help. I'm going to try and find a way back, Rhimb. I'm not one for breaking the rules, but I think that this one could stand to be bent a little.
If you do, I will protect you.
Well, it's not my decision. There are not many souls that can resist the promise of eternal rest. But if it's what you want, and if it's what he wants.
and she points with her trunk towards the distant mountain. And you see the enormous draconic figure take shape. Is this not the rest you seek, Rhimb?
Father, I don't think it's the rest I yet deserve. There's more for me to do.
An unquiet heart. In time, it would find peace here. But eternity can be much more enjoyable when the unquiet heart is stilled before finding rest.
And Rhimb gives a single nod to that.
I fear you go back to torment, Rhimb. I have a mission for you, if this is truly what you seek.
Speak it.
Long has Avernus been home to Tiamat, a goddess of evil dragonfolk. The world is well protected against her, while she is trapped there. But there are those who labor to release her. Archon, known as the Cruel. He is powerful, Rhimb, made more so by an artifact of the ancient world that he should not possess. Destroy this artifact, Rhimb, before he learns its secrets and can release Tiamat back into the world.
How can I accomplish such a feat?
With faith, Rhimb, and with your friends.
Then it will be done. In your name, Father. I have one last request. If my father, on the material plane, dwells in this forest, please tell him I love him and I miss him.
He knows, Rhimb. He knows.
Rhimb turns to Lulu and gently places a claw on her face. Thank you for your friendship and your bravery.
You're welcome.
He turns back to Papa Tarragon, to Bahamut, and he says, I am ready.
So be it. And you feel that falling sensation once again, Rhimb. And this time, you're falling away from light. And the darkness around you begins to take on a red tinge. Heat. Pressure. And you find yourself waking up in your own body in incredible pain. And your friends are all around you as you take your first breath as yourself in quite some time.
He tries to lift his head, but it's very painful.
Easy, dragon reborn. You'll need a moment. You are very, very weak.
He takes a moment to look at each one of you as the reality of his choice starts to sink in. And you see his face break, and he weakly outstretches his arms towards all of you, and he says, please, hold me.
Falkrunn continues to cradle his head.
Well, it worked.
I lean down next to Falkrunn and look at Rhimb and say simply, what is your name?
I am Rhimb Celebryl. And I missed you, Silas. He raises a claw, and he gently touches the side of your face that's been scarred. What happened to you?
Less than what happened to you.
All of a sudden, his eyes snap up, and he sits forward very suddenly, and he looks at Persephone, and he's like, Persephone, did you find the coffee?
I did. I did find the coffee, Rhimb.
He just starts to cry.
I drank it all. I'm sorry.
It was for you.
I know. And she just starts to laugh and cry and laugh and sort of falls down next to you.
The worst part is that she kept leaving half-full cups around the campsites. It was just terrible.
Such a waste.
Well, artists, you know how they are.
He's back! Persephone looks up and shouts at everybody, he's back! It worked! It all worked!
Just easy. He's very, very weak, and some of us aren't much better. As Falkrunn looks over to Yeastlin. So.
Oh, then they are like my rat kebabs.
Indeed, like your rat kebabs.
I'll hand Rhimb a rat kebab.
Eat it.
I'll hand his lid one as well.
Unfortunately, you are quite hungry, Rhimb.
Bring on the rat kebabs.
It heals you 1 hit point.
So my hour and 10 minutes was to also include a prayer of healing. So
Oh, excellent, please. Oh, I see.
27.
27 points of healing.
And that can go to Yeastlin, and that will go to Rhimb. And
It'll probably all
everyone.
go to Islin.
Well, it goes to everyone.
Eastlin and Rhimb. I mean, the prayer of healing it's everybody in a radius.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Did
everybody gets
Persephone
27.
Do Song of Rest during the short rest? Was she
Uh,
able to do that?
Persephone was too caught up in what was going on. She didn't want to mess up anything.
Don't worry.
Otherwise, everybody got a short rest.
Yes.
I gave Rhimb a rat kebab. Don't forget that. It's 1 hit point.
Oh, I did. He's chowing down.
We got it. We got it, Jax.
I've got 8 more if you need it. You might be a bit full.
So, as you are all gathered around and take a moment to enjoy the fact that your plan has worked, there is a sound outside, sort of a ripping sound. Echoes through this chamber that you're all in. Just
I just want to quickly say something before. I didn't want to disturb earlier, but thank you very much to Isometric who donated 1,000 bits.
Oh wow!
Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
Isometric.
Thank you very, very much. That's a healing potion. So
Hooray! Woo! All right. It's going to be a normal healing potion, and let's go ahead and give this to Rhimb.
yeah. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks.
DM, the description of the ripping sound. Ripping like, oh, I ripped my paper, or
No,
like
it's-
ripping
it's-
like this structure is ripping.
It did not. There was no accompanying vibration or anything like that of the structure. So it was not. It does not seem to have been a part of the structure. And the sound. It was a ripping sound, but on a very large scale. It had an echo to it, and there was also kind of a crackle, a kind of an arcane sort of power sound to it. Sort of
Let's
Are
go
we
look
on the
outside, I
same-
suppose.
Are we on the same level that we were before, where we were all stationed originally?
Was it?
I had assumed that you all just came into the front, the very bottom
Yeah.
level here,
Okay.
and just that's where it is.
Was it the rods? The rods.
Typhon, how much time do we have left on the contract? How much time do we have to get Feanor back?
Do we know? I just have
Time enough.
session confusion.
I'm running outside while math is
Yeah,
happening.
and me too. That's what I initially said. We have
All
to
right.
check out this sound before we figure that out.
You run outside and you see, hanging suspended in the air, a bright sort of jagged line. As stepping through it, you see the familiar form of Elila. She steps out, her wings furl.
I am immediately ready to kill her.
All right.
Say, Silas,
She looks at all of you and then puts a hand and brings through the rift a light purple skinned tiefling that you are familiar with.
Oh, it's her again.
Elmira turns to you, Zelmira, and says, well, you said you wanted to be taken to where there would be allies. There are not many in Avernus that I think could potentially, that could be said of, but I would say, for the most part, these will not kill you on sight.
Zelmira
Is it
looks
acceptable?
the group over and
Oh, of course not.
says, "This should do nicely. Thank you."
Was that conversation audible to everyone?
You're a ways away, so I would ask for a perception check, but they were not making an effort to be quiet.
Passive for 21.
I'm going to try to have heard that, so
Okay.
rolling a 9.
Rolling a 9.
I'm sure they were talking about something.
Well, I heard it with a
passive. So passive perception, Jax, is kind of funky
Oh,
in
that's
these
for
circumstances. People sneaking up,
Right, okay.
seeing something that you wouldn't normally have seen. With them, if they had been right next to you, trying to keep quiet, then I would have definitely made the passive. But since they're a ways away, okay,
22 then.
A 22, you are definitely able to hear. So
I
there's a
rolled
sound
badly.
of breeze and wind happening, and but just over it, you can hear the murmuring voices of these two. She looks at you, Zelmira, and says, that fellow there with the long staff, the blade on the end of it. You and he have something in common.
She's talking about you, Silas.
What? She speaks me. I started dancing.
Oh, can he? Is this like far enough away that they are in earshot? Now,
For those
or-
people who are particularly good at hearing, yes.
Okay.
Sounds like they're standing right next to me.
So, what would you like to say to Elila?
I just would like to know what it is that we have in common, as she again looks over Silas and frankly can't see any similarities.
Well, I'll leave that for you to find out.
Thank you for your help.
One more boon.
I understand.
What's a boon?
So she sort of folds her arms and looks at you approaching, Silas, with an eyebrow raised. Good morning,
As I advance,
Silas.
I yell out, give me one reason why I shouldn't kill you now. Or are you ready to take me up on my offer?
Your offer was to free me. I see that means that you wish to kill me. Semantics. Tricky things. And as for a reason, well, you'd have to be able to find me, wouldn't you? She disappears.
She's gone again.
Should I roll initiative?
Sure.
I'm kidding.
Well,
He looks really
so Mira
good.
turns and flees.
Very firmly was I looking at the demon
Yeah.
behind the tiefling the whole time.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, the demon, he may or may not have offered to take her all away from this. So, there's that.
Wink.
So, as you see Silas coming towards you, Zelmira, you are now in the presence of one of the most enormous structures you've ever seen.
Okay.
You know that you've never seen one in person, but you know that the forces of the devils fighting in the blood war. Their flagships, their most powerful weapons are these enormous flying fortresses. They kind of look like giant blades or like thorn-shaped citadels that fly across the plains of Avernus and have multiple weapons and can house entire cohorts of devils. This one appears to have crashed into the ground, and there's a huge mound of dirt and rubble on one side of it, and the back of it has a great deal of wreckage. Looks like it's pitted and has been exposed to the elements, and you see the same group of people who you met in Infernal Rapture and at the Wandering Emporium. In front of a large infernal machine that appears to be made of solid gold. Two smaller ones, one that they were in before, which you would have recognized, the Bloodstone, and then of course Smiler the Defiler's Victor Cycle.
Well, Zelmira puts her arms behind her back and straightens her posture and just begins to walk towards the large structure of which she has only heard but has never seen. She wants to investigate it, but as she does, she calls out to, Silas is closest now to her. And so she says, what did you do to is this yours?
And as you're doing this, Zelmira, would you be so kind as to re-describe your character for our viewers and our group?
Yes. So, Zelmira is a tiefling with light pale lilac skin, sort of effervescent, or not effervescent, I mean maybe, but iridescent is the word that I was looking for. Iridescent. And she has horns that are shaped like ram's horns, so they curl up and back. And she has long, dark, wavy hair that's black, but on each side, beginning kind of about here, are streaks of gray. Not gray, but silver, that go all the way down and are interspersed in her hair. She's about medium-sized. She's got an attitude. Now that she's out of Infernal Rapture, she's definitely carrying herself a little bit differently than the first time you all encountered her.
And so her question was, is this yours?
Mm-hmm.
I called out, that huge thing, no, but a moment. And I activate Divine Sense.
All right.
Being that she just stepped out of a ripped portal in reality,
Right.
in Avernus, with a succubus demon with whom I have a past. Yeah, kind of. Just wondering if she
There
smells
are
okay.
no senses of anything undead or demonic or celestial nearby. And you have a momentary twinge as you realize that means that Lulu is well and truly gone.
I didn't actually learn your name,
Zelmira.
Zelmira.
And you are?
Silas.
Silas.
You were with Elila.
I was being accompanied by Elila, yes.
You sought the company of allies. Were you fleeing something?
This is Typhon.
Typhon?
Excuse my manners, Zelmira.
Not at all. I was fleeing, becoming something's dinner. So yes, I decided I wasn't ready for that experience in my life, and decided to come here, where I could be amongst people I was somewhat certain wouldn't try to eat me.
Silas can describe that experience for you.
Watch, don't let Jax get too hungry. But, Zelmira, Elila doesn't do much for free.
It wasn't for free. Everything has a price. And she continues walking towards the structure.
Are you here to rub our feet?
I am not here to rub your feet. Continues walking.
Oh.
So as you are walking, you pass by Golden Doom, which is the infernal machine that belonged to Feanor the Warlord, but you know from conversations that it once belonged to Smila the Defiler.
Yes.
And as you're walking by, you see him sort of rise up out of it, sort of... Zelmira! How did you get here? And he leaps off and stands in front of you. I was just on my way to come and get you.
Were you?
I was. I wouldn't have just left you there. I had to get back here. I had to fulfill my part of the bargain so that, ting, 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 I could recover this. But now that it has been recovered, well, where would you like to go, darling?
Were you aware? Are you aware of what happened when you didn't come back to get me?
Well,
I know you say you were on your way back, but are you aware of what happened when you didn't turn up?
well, I'm assuming they kept their end of the bargain.
Oh, well, it's funny that you say that because they certainly didn't.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
They wanted to eat me.
Well, but they didn't.
Oh, no, because I used one of my boons to get away from them.
Oh, well, they wouldn't have hurt you.
You don't think eating me would have hurt me?
They wouldn't have hurt you.
Just a nibble.
They would have thought about hurting you, but not actually. They couldn't. They made a deal with me. You were to be unharmed until I returned.
Until you returned where exactly?
Until I returned to you.
I don't think that they understood that caveat. And she walks towards...
Did you say unharmed
the
or
infernal machine.
unarmed?
I said unharmed. Well, all's well that ends well, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Elmira?
She's now running her hands along the side of it, admiring it.
All right. What would the rest of you like to do? Got a full boat here.
Rhimb is kind of propping himself up on his bow, and he looks over to Islin. He said, "New friend." And he raises an eyebrow and offers his claw.
To Zelmira?
No, to Islin.
To Islin. Ah. She reaches out her hand and says, "Nice to meet you again."
Again.
Islin. We met briefly. There was a potion shop and a teleportation circle. Things got a little crazy.
You looked different then.
Ah, yes, I looked like this. And she changes back to the... Sorry, can be a little confusing.
Good to see you again.
You're looking... appropriate.
I feel grateful.
Do you?
Should I not?
I'll take what I can get.
What's happened? What do we need to do?
Well, I'll leave that to them to fill in. I've got my ideas of what I should do next, but it might not coincide with everyone's, so...
We owe Mahadi the contents of this container, as he holds up the jar. And after that, I believe, well, a particular hag owes us an explanation.
What's in the jar, Typhon?
A warlord.
A necromancer.
I don't understand.
Well,
It's exactly as it looks, Rhimb.
I mean, he does deserve to know. I'll tell him, unless one of you wants to.
In order to free you, we trapped the soul of the necromancer inside this jar.
Well, actually,
As payment for the means to restore your body and free Eastlyn from it. That is the long and short of it.
well, that actually wasn't the price to restore Rhimb. Rhimb was going to be restored regardless. That was the price for getting a body for Eastlyn.
We do not know that. The binding of Eastlyn's spirit to Rhimb's body could have interfered. I believe that was the whole purpose. Eastlyn, my dear, well, we could have found a way to revive you later. Removed the spirit and broken the soul coin and brought Rhimb back, but there was no assurance that doing that would not have just pulled your spirit back into his body. Hence, the assurance that this tangled web could be separated.
I'm sorry, Did I understand that we're buying things with a soul?
Ooh, you have missed a lot, haven't you?
Rhimb takes his time looking at everyone.
I'm a powerful wizard now.
Persephone looks over at you, Jax, and she steps forward to Rhimb. It's like, this place, there are compromises and sacrifices that we have to make, or everything is lost.
But to trade someone's eternity.
DM, just a question. Do we... so the vision that you shared with us, did we see Mantlemorn die? Was that
What it appeared to be?
But we as characters saw that.
Yes, that was a shared vision that is still, in the heat and excitement of the day's events, you're still processing what you saw, and nobody has actually spoken about it aloud yet. So
we can't see the chain from where we're at, right?
No. Okay. Much too far away.
Okay.
And Persephone nods. She says, "It's bad. It's a terrible thing to contemplate, but I mean, we have to burn souls just to travel here."
What does that even mean? Burn souls.
It means we're in hell, Rhimb.
I'm afraid, Rhimb, that you've come back at a desperate moment.
Your friends
You remember Elturel?
Yes.
Elturel still descends to the surface of Avernus, damning every soul in the city, deserved or not. Rhea Mantlemorn, who you may remember was with us in Baldur's Gate, sacrificed herself, we believe, to buy us time to save the city. This is in front of us now. This moment. If we wait many days, the city will be lost, and every soul in it will be unjustly damned to slavery in Avernus. In front of us now is a course of action. We have diverted from that course to retrieve you. Now, we must go back. Now.
You see him absorbing the information, but his brain is struggling to process what it is that he's hearing, and he kind of hangs his head a little bit.
Rhea isn't the only one we fear we've lost. Lulu is gone too.
I saw her. I saw her as I was coming back.
You did?
She was so happy.
Is she still here somehow?
No, she's in Celestia. But she said she would try to return. I didn't have the presence of mind to ask her what that meant, but it felt so good to hold her. I'm sorry that the choices I made caused you to have to make these decisions.
No, Rhimb, you coming back to us now is the turning of the tide. Especially with news now that Lulu has survived to go on to Celestia. These are all good tidings. The breaking of the soul coin, a good thing. Lulu being returned, a good thing. You standing before us, good things.
Even Islin getting back what she really wanted. All good things.
Yeah.
She looks at you in surprise, Silas, to hear that she sees the expression on your face. She's like, ha.
You know that Rhimb still doesn't know she was in his body, right? Like he's totally unaware of this.
But, as Silas said, we have to move.
Right, things to do, and we have quite a few infernal machines. What are our intentions with those, friends?
I would suggest the fastest we take. And go. There are
All right,
how many
so
of us now?
moving into meta,
Yeah.
Take them all.
you're gonna take them all?
I mean, they're all...
Drive them all to the Emporium.
Are
We need
they?
to
Are
go
there?
back to
Is
the
this like a
Emporium anyway.
Is this like a Transformer combiner situation, or like
Yes.
a Voltron deal where we can
Call
Rule of cool.
call dibs on the Victor cycle. I just want to...
Mighty
right, so,
Morphin Demon Rangers or something? I don't know.
Wrecking
I'm the
balls for
purple
arms.
one.
So I just knocked over the lamp.
Eastland sort of
Istlin's the peak one.
looking at one of the tormentors, and she nods her head. So, Smile the Defiler is going to take the Golden Doom. You all still have the Bloodstone.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 Tormentors and the Victor Cycle. So, I assume those of you who do not end up driving will ride on the Bloodstone.
Hmm?
And then we have 2 Tormentors and the Victor Cycle.
Falkrunn will drive the Victor cycle.
Jax wants to drive.
That was... not part of the bargain. I do have quite a fondness for that.
Well then,
Happy to sell it to you.
if you can figure out a way to travel with it, or you wish to snatch it up in your claw and be done with it, does
Well,
you-
Zelmira will drive that. Won't you, my dear?
She just kind of waves a hand.
See?
Doesn't look like she's going with you, Smiler.
What nonsense!
I
Zelmira?
wouldn't say it's nonsense.
She's coming to rub our feet.
I'm not rubbing your feet.
I thought that's what you did.
Smiler comes out and he looks at you and sort of says, "You're not coming? But this is what we dreamed of. I mean, my star is rising once again. It won't be long before Smiler the Defiler is once again a feared and respected warlord of Avernus."
Well, why don't you find me when that happens? And she takes her hand and puts it on the side of his cheek. There's a little pat.
Bad luck, Gadrathane. I see now how you lost your first party.
Smiler. Gadrathane is the name of someone who no longer exists. At any rate, yes, I do believe I'll be able to figure out a way to bring the Victor Cycle with me. So, That's 2 tormentors and the bloodstone.
Jax, which one are you going
Happily
in?
drive.
Whichever one Jax goes in, I am going to be in the same one.
Very
I'll
well.
go in the big one then.
I'll look at Silas.
No.
And
Oh, okay.
Eastland. She pulls you aside, Typhon. I think it might be a good idea if, now that things are back where they're supposed to be, I disappear for a bit.
Can
There
you
are
at
some
least-
arrangements that I have made that I have been somewhat neglecting. And I should see to it that they are squared away before, well, before finding out how this all turns out.
Can you at least be forthright with me with this?
Can you keep this quiet somehow?
I can. We can message back and forth.
See, Jax is looking at you.
We can remove our headphones if you prefer.
You can call me.
Oh, she just doesn't want the rest of the party to hear. So you can listen to this. This doesn't need to be secret from the players, but secret from the characters. How many message spells do you have?
It's a cantrip.
Cantrip. And you don't have to say it out loud?
It's. I can post it. You whisper a message. The target, and only the target hears the message, and
So you do have to
reply
whisper
in a
it.
whisper that only you can hear. So
All right.
that only the target can hear the message. So
All right.
I will conceal my lips as I
Okay.
do that.
She does the same. And you whisper back and forth to each other. I am beholden to a great lord down here. You've probably heard of him.
Rings a bell.
Quite. I think I am in relatively good standing. His last directive to me was that the Celestial die. The fact that I didn't have to kill her is a great weight off of my soul. But I should take him proof.
Do you have proof?
I do think there was some remnants, were there not?
Were you able to take any?
I don't have them on me at the moment, but I should be able to get them.
Do you need invisibility to do so?
Couldn't hurt. I can cast that myself, though.
Of course you can.
I am loath to leave now that I'm in a more appropriate form. But it seems that nothing down here that is has the potential of being good is safe from corruption. So let us be apart for a while. And
Still
when-
not the time.
Perhaps when one of us has a means to escape, we should contact the other.
Islan, you're not fully beholden to Bell, are you?
No, not fully. but it's in my best interest to keep him happy.
I see. I can do many things, as you've seen, myself, and with my influence over the others, and, well, just keep your soul free. And whatever happens to you, I can bring you back.
Out of curiosity, what happens to me if that gets broken? She points to the little vial.
Actually,
She
pull
dies.
up the spell. Oh.
Now that Rhimb's body is inhabited, she has no body of her own. If that breaks, Feanor returns to the body that Islin is currently in, and Islin is gone.
Well, that's a downer.
Unless that body is protected somehow.
Ooh.
Well,
That's something for Typhon to think about,
Yeah.
not me.
so as she says this, and as you sort of do the mental calculations, Typhon, she's like, "Can you send me home now?"
I could, if that's where you wish to go.
I need to get that celestial stuff to Bell. Then I'll come find you again.
I look forward to the next reunion. I get to pick the location next time.
I'm looking forward to exploring just what all this body has to offer. And she leans into you very close and kisses you on the cheek.
He smiles genuinely.
Smile of the Defiler. She turns back and looks at him and says, "So, you're going to be a warlord?" "Going to be? I've always been." And they have an exchange, and it seems clear that she is going to be traveling with him, and she would like to take one of the tormentors.
Typhon, does this mean you're leaving also?
No. We still have much to accomplish. I am content knowing Eastlyn is safe. She is more than capable. And very grateful to have our powerful friend back.
So Eastlyn begins moving around the group one by one, taking her leave. Jax?
Yes.
I've always hated your rat kebabs.
What?
Just kidding. Who has the flower, by the way?
Jax does.
Jax does. May I see that flower again?
Oh, I was going to give it to Rhimb.
Wonderful. Let's do it together.
Oh, okay.
I'll walk over.
Rhimb,
Hi, little one.
I got a present for you.
What is it?
Me and Lulu bought this. I think you should have it.
He pulls out just a flower.
It's not magical, it's just a flower.
How? How does such a thing exist here?
You got to
Jax?
water it, obviously.
Well, yes, of course, but how?
Don't know.
You get water, and in the soil,
I-
It is a curious thing. And she sort of reaches out and runs her finger in the dirt around it. She says, I've never seen anything like this down here.
It's just a
So vibrant.
Lulu
And I
bought
do
it.
believe a 35 on sleight of hand beats everybody's passive.
Literally takes it out of my hand. without-
Okay. She doesn't take it out of her hand, but she has gotten what she wants.
Well, so I thought you said literally I was holding it. I thought you...
Oh, sorry,
Gone.
Rhimb, it's gone.
Right.
Is there any left on the plant?
Yes.
Is this what remains of her?
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure. Perhaps.
We
It
sprinkled
was
on.
like this before that, so. Anyway. I hope we have an opportunity to get to know each other a little better sometime.
Rhimb kind of cocks his head and says, I'd like that.
It's been an experience. And she pats you on the arm, squeezes the muscle a second. It's like, incredible. And moves along the line, saying goodbye to other people. Does anybody have anything they wish to say to Isla before she takes her leave?
Almater watch over you. And wherever your path take you, I hope you find your way back.
I don't think I'm going to say goodbye to Persephone. If you could come up with something appropriate to say, I'd appreciate it. Just,
I don't know if I know that many swear words, but I'll try.
you could also just say she left. That would probably do. She comes over to you, Silas.
Just tell me something, Islin. As you leave us now, are you running to something? Would I look at Typhon? Or away from something?
It's a matter of perspective, isn't it?
Try not to be too much of a dark elf. You might get
Speaking of which, there is a traditional dark elven ceremony done on parting. Works better at night, but
I don't think any of us are ready to die just to see you off.
fair enough. Some other time then. Zelmira? Good luck.
Yeah.
And she gets into the Tormentor and sort of sits there, looking expectantly. Smiler. Right, well, I don't think I'll be making my way back to Infernal Rapture or the Wandering Emporium for some time. Somehow Zelmira has worked out a deal where apparently she is out of the influence of Mahadi, at least for a little while. But I am under no such illusions. I need to keep away from him. So, you won't be seeing me there anymore, but I'm sure our paths will cross again. Pleasure
Zelmira
doing business with you.
blows a kiss.
Jax sees that and does the same.
You're making a mistake, dear.
Only time will tell, I suppose.
And he and Islin begin to drive away.
At this point, Zelmira yells after to Islin, and good luck to you!
So, that just leaves the 7 of you. What would you all like to do?
Let's go find a sword.
Well,
Didn't that one? Oh no, we got to go back to. Oh yeah, let's go back there. I'm hungry.
'cause
Where are
if
we going?
Well, unfortunately, we need to return to the Wandering Emporium, because if we don't, we're all dead. Well, except for Rhimb.
You are quite familiar with it. Are you able to get us there?
Yes, I should be able to do that.
Excellent. It's not so easy when you don't know your way around these places.
I can imagine.
Right. So, mount up and get moving.
Will we be staying? The food was lovely.
No, I don't think we will, Jax.
Oh.
Is that the plan then?
Yeah. Convoy.
Right.
So just a question. Iselin would be safe now that she's gone away from the breaking of the thing, right?
It depends.
I thought it specified within 100 feet. if
Within
it's
100
broken
feet.
now.
So it's curious to see what all would play. It all comes down to who is the original body, who is the original soul, and so on and so forth. So we will
Right.
see.
Okay. But
In
would we be able
honor
to know
of
that from
Ryan.
reading the spell description, though?
In honor of Ryan, I have to say out loud, well, you know, possession is 9/10 of the law.
That's true. Actually, I was going to say the devil's in the details.
Aha. At any rate. Right, so if the container is destroyed or the spell ends, your soul immediately returns to your body. If your body is more than 100 feet away from you, or if your body is dead, when you attempt to return it, you die. So that would be the end of Feanor.
Okay. Oh no, my body's 101 feet away. No.
I don't know.
Right.
That's an interesting thing to contemplate. I don't think I'm going to let it go that easily, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Things are different in hell. Things
Indeed. I have
altered the
spells
spell
act differently.
rules.
Souls act differently.
Right.
Go them further.
This spell was not, after all, the traditional one cast by a mage who's taken it and written it in their spellbook and so on and so forth. But
Sure.
so you head out again over the plains of the Firestorm, leaving the huge blade-like structure behind you. Who is riding with whom?
Oh, yeah. Also, do we have those rods stored in the?
Yes, of course.
All right, good. And where are those at?
Who wants them?
They're probably with Typhon, so he can chill them occasionally.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, either with Typhon or with Rhimb, since we have our Frosty Breath Boy back.
He can only do that once a day properly.
Once a
I
short
can
rest.
do it once to rest.
Once a short
Yeah.
rest.
But if it comes down to that or death, you know. I imagine Jax and I are in the Tormentor. Anyone else in the Tormentor?
I will ride with you.
Yay.
Okay.
I will-
How many vehicles do we have in this group, Mr. Deanam?
You have 2 at the moment.
3.
You have 3. What's the third one?
There are 2 tormentors. He drove away in the Golden Doom with Zelmira, and we have
With
No,
the
you-
Bloodstone.
Eastland took one of the tormentors.
Well, then who took? Oh, I wasn't. I thought she was going in because you
You
said.
were love struck. You were
Yeah.
blinded.
Whoa.
Man, it's
Yeah.
She
That's a
definitely
good
took
question.
one of the...
Did you? I mean, was there?
doughy-eyed fool.
I
thought she-
heard Sean say that she was
Yeah.
going on.
She took the
Right.
tormentor and
I thought it sounded like one of the cycles myself. The sound
yes,
of stuff, but you know.
Smiler has the Victor cycle. He's towing it behind the Golden Doom.
Yes, so we got 2 vehicles.
Which we rescued for him. Y'all should have gotten some out of that train.
I know I did, but I didn't realize it when I was happening. I thought it was just a. But
It's all by design. Smiler's like, yep. So I'm just gonna go.
You didn't notice
took
that
a-
sleight of hand either. The whole machine disappeared.
I would have argued it heavily, but we can let it go.
Good. Good.
I say we've got things.
So, back through the fields of fire, keeping a very brisk pace as you go through it. Again, you're able to avoid the danger, the firestorms. You could tell if you were on foot or moving slower, that would be extremely dangerous. But blasting through them at this high speed, they do try and move towards you, sort of like flocking wolves, but with the knowledge of how they operate and keeping your foot firmly down on the accelerator, you're able to move through it. And although you have a couple of close calls, nothing comes close to damaging you or impeding you the way it did before. And you emerge on the other side of the plains of Avernus. So, the plan is to return to the Wandering Emporium?
Oh, yes.
All right.
That whole drop dead thing.
Right. So the last time that you saw the Emporium, it was stationed about here, and you got the impression that Mahadi was planning to
he said
stay
he
there
would stay
for a
bit,
while.
yeah.
So, this is somewhat nerve-wracking for you, Zelmira. So, as you are driving, I need everyone who currently possesses a soul coin to roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
And who would those people be? I do not have a soul coin.
Right, I believe that it is Jax and Falkrunn and Persephone.
I have many.
Typhon has like 17, but he's kind of...
Typhon, you do not need to roll.
16 for me.
All right, so that's a 3 for Persephone.
Oh, God.
Let me just look and see what her bonus is.
Poor Persephone always fails the travel checks.
She really does.
It's rough.
She hasn't been traveling well.
Just a moment here. Let me bring up her caricature sheet.
Fiend.
A character sheet.
Caricature sheet? What?
I hope I do.
That's paid for.
Hope that she is watching.
She's in, well, she would be in the Golden Doom with the Bloodstone here with us
Right.
too, right? So she would get
Indeed.
Silas's bonus.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
She would get Silas's bonus. All right.
So I found
So
when you
let
get
us
my
see.
bonus.
What is Silas's bonus?
Oh, what's your bonus, Jax?
It's 0.
Oh, good.
You still get it.
Yeah, still get it. Every time. Yeah.
Let's see here. So is it? It's 2 from you, Silas. Is that correct?
3.
3. Okay, so that brings it to 6.
3. The number of the counting, Sean?
Shall be 3.
Yes, thank you. Now that that's out of the way.
Thou shalt not count to 2 unless further counting.
And 5 is right out.
Right out.
All right. Good to know.
Did
So,
we win?
Does she look tired? Or changed? Does she?
nobody has to worry about the while you're riding here. You're able to. I'm not forcing. There's no exhaustion coming from these rolls. But
I just mean the result of that check you just did. Does she look different after having rolled a 3?
make a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what about Falkrunn? Does Falkrunn?
Falkrunn, you're fine.
Am I, Sean? Lulu's dead. Fuck you.
I'm not good at
bald,
this, but I did
Falkrunn. You're
roll a
fine.
16.
16. No noticeable change.
Okay.
There's no way I can imagine that Typhon would have known in character that he needed to watch her like that, but
You're right. I just, but what I mean is just that, if there was suddenly a change over her.
Yeah,
but
is she foaming in the
definitely didn't
mouth?
know.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
so
So I also want to extort Feanor more on the way, like I promised.
okay, go for it.
See if she will. I will just open up the mental channel again.
Hello,
Are you aware of your surroundings?
I am.
You know where you're going.
Based on what you said when last we spoke, I think I have a pretty good idea.
I would not want to end up in your position. Though I'm sure, being you understand why I'm doing it.
Oh, probably has something to do with a bargain, gaining something you want. Generally seems to be the way these things work.
I would rather it were the other way. I would, well, rather we didn't have to. I would.
Really?
As I expressed to you the first time I met you, I was not deceiving you when I said I would like to learn from you. You're impressive.
Well, there seems to be a bit of a problem with that.
There does. But, well, despite you being in decline at the moment, find myself rather on the rise. So, if I found something to continue that, if you could point me in the direction of any of your things that you're almost certain to never acquire unless someone should intercede for you, then, well, when I have the ability, I would be most willing to bargain for your release, having no true desire to do this to you, as I've stated. Not all of it, but some of it. And I might think, what more could the wise and mighty Feanor offer? If not, I suppose I shall just wander and leave you in Mahadi's grasps.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Wish I were a bard. 7.
7.
It was a good argument.
Mahadi. Any arrangement that we would have would begin with you releasing me from this. And since I can plainly understand that that is not going to happen, I believe I will take my chances with Mahadi, who once built me an infernal machine made entirely of gold because he loved me. I imagine it's only a matter of time before he gives me something else I want. Maybe you should think about making me happy.
I will cut off the communication.
You pass.
Well,
Oh, go ahead. You pass through the.
I'm just sitting there silently the whole time, and then Silas, you just hear behind you. Well, that was good.
Does anybody else have anything they would like to say?
Yes. We currently have a giveaway going.
Oh, yeah!
As you are moving across the fields of Avernus, the size of both of these machines is such that you have plenty of space and able to support yourself, and the few bumps and crevasses that you go over and around are not a burden. You are able to rest. You're able to take care of little things. Conversation can be had, but after about 3 hours of travel, you begin to come to an area that seems somewhat familiar. And Zelmira, you recognize a certain pull. There is still a remnant of Mahadi's power upon you. And while you can ignore it, thanks to the circumstances of your escape, you can nevertheless detect it, and you know that you are close to the Wandering Emporium.
I indicate to, well, who am I with now on? Because I would just assumed I'd end up wherever. That I.
So there's two infernal machines. There's the very large one, and then there's one that's big but not as large. The large one has a huge ball and chain hanging off the back of it, and has a mouth that can open up and eat things. And the other one has rotating scythe blades on along the sides.
The one with the mouth sounds dope, so I think that's where Zelmira would go.
So, do you have anybody that you wish to speak to, Zelmira?
Before we go to the Wandering Emporium.
Mm-hmm.
That is like physically here and not in a bottle, I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah. That's a special thing only Typhon gets to do. Okay.
You haven't, nobody else has tried.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have anyone to talk to yet. No, I think that I'm fine. I don't know who's with me on the.
It's a good question. Who's driving the Tormentor?
Yeah.
Jax is driving the Tormentor. Is anybody riding with Jax?
Yes.
Falkrunn. And Rhimb. Falkrunn and Rhimb. So that means that Silas is driving the Bloodstone, and Typhon is also on the Bloodstone, as is Persephone.
Okay.
Fun.
So I think that I will just say to Falkrunn that, because I recognize.
Falkrunn is on the Tormentor.
No, wait, I thought that they were.
Falkrunn is on the Tormentor with
Yeah.
Jax. Falkrunn is babysitting Jax.
With Jax.
Falkrunn is absolutely babysitting Jax.
What? I thought
You were on the Bloodstone, you said. That's the one that's got the mouth and the...
Yeah, she's on the Bloodstone.
Yeah.
So I'm with.
You're with
Typhon.
Silas, Typhon, and Persephone.
Okay.
Silas is driving, Persephone is stewing, and Typhon's been staring at a bottle.
So Typhon looks the least busy. So I'm gonna just approach Typhon and say, you know, we're getting close to the Wandering Emporium, and I feel that I may need to hang back while we're inside. Just so you're aware, going in, that I will likely be trying to keep a low profile.
Did you abscond without his permission?
You could say that.
Could he say that?
He would very likely say that.
And would he have recourse against your actions based on whatever arrangements you made with the succubus?
Not for a longish period of time. Nothing immediate, but eventually, yes. I just don't want to. We're not in any real danger. I just don't want to call attention to myself.
I understand. But I want to keep you safe, and it seems to me that Mahadi is, well, quite by the book as far as the fiends go down here. If he has no recourse against you, then there is quite simply nothing he can do, and if you feel safer with us, then you should stay with us. The business is the business. I only offer that, but if you are more comfortable waiting, if you feel you would be safe waiting in the machines, then by all means.
Well, now that you've said that, I will accompany you into the Emporium, but again, I just would like to keep a low profile. And DM, I have a question.
Very well.
So I can cast Disguise Self once per long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that would benefit me? I would like to do that unless it is of no benefit to me. Because I don't
Make
necessarily...
an insight check.
Okay. Okay. Do I need to pull myself onto the map or no? I'm good.
I think you should just be able to roll on D&D
D&D Beyond.
and it'll show up, yeah.
Great. Okay. Let's see. And you said insight?
I did.
Technology is such a great enabler.
Indeed, except when it
Here,
doesn't work.
here,
and then
here
it's
at
the
Lawful
opposite.
Stupid RPG, we use all the technologies equally. We use Roll20, D&D Beyond, Fog's Props from Patreon.
We use
So-
all the technologies.
All the technologies.
I don't have little D&D Beyond guys
You
popping
don't.
up.
Do you have your D&D, you have your Beyond 20 enabled?
I should, yeah. Like, just I'll roll
You roll. You
different
can't roll anything on your
thing.
on
Let
your
me see.
character sheet.
I can. So I
Intelligence
rolled
is-
that, but when I scroll over to my insight, it just doesn't. Nothing.
Doesn't work. Well,
Oh wait. Okay. Wait. No. Let me try again.
There it is. There it comes.
E. Okay.
Ooh.
19. That's very
Right.
good. It would probably be wise to not be recognizable as yourself.
Yes.
In amongst the various shops and stalls of the Wandering Emporium, you have seen Mahadi recognize people who were covering themselves with illusion. You know he has seen people who have been invisible. You've never known anybody able to fool him. So, if you are in his presence, it is likely that disguise self will not avail you.
Okay. Well, I think just in order for me to keep a low profile, I will cast it before we enter.
Very well. What do you look like?
Well, I'm going to go in a totally different direction. And I will present as a medium-sized and build human man with blonde curly hair and brown eyes, a warrior type. You know, actually, I'm going to say he has like armor very similar to like a swashbuckling lad I once knew in another campaign.
Very good. Excellent. I love it.
Yeah.
So he's got a little bit of dash to him, I take it.
And a very Ponzi hat.
And then a very Ponzi hat. Lovely. You begin to steer the. You sort of tap on Silas's shoulder and point to where you think the Emporium is, and Silas begins to lead the small caravan over the plains of Avernus, and you do arrive back again at the Wandering Emporium. And that, my friends, will be where we take our short break. The adventurers, conscript group 14, have said farewell to Eastland and Smiler the Defiler. And I'm trying to read the signals I'm getting from Silas. They did not
Smiler.
smile. Okay, got it. I was like, what is this? What are you trying to signal me? No, okay. They have left, leaving the adventurers with a new member, Zelmira, the tiefling monk. They are returning post haste to the Wandering Emporium to pay Mahadi what they promised,
So
namely
being,
the soul of Feanor the Pale. and-
being formerly known as Zelmira,
Yes,
Sorry. What is
True.
what is your name now?
Shane. No, I'm just kidding. It's not Shane.
Jezzy.
it does not happen
Wild
to be Jeswaldo.
Jezdo.
It is. It's just Waldo. It's so weird.
It's Wild Jezdo.
It's just Waldo.
Man, this is just getting weird. All right, so
There's a mythical character out there named Jeswaldo.
I don't know if you've
Ian,
heard of
do you
him.
remember the full name?
I
It
do.
was Jeswaldo de
la
la...
Rosa.
What is it again? What is it? What is the full name? DM? I deflected that away
Surely
from
you must be
to the DM.
referring to Gesualdo Tagarumbo La Tomba del Fuego Santa Melipa Zacatecas de Sotes and the Cruz de la Rosa.
No.
Oh, I knew there was
His
a
brother.
Della Rosa in there somewhere.
You're
Not even his
so
brother.
close. You're so
It's
close.
Maris's last name.
Della
now.
Rosa? Della Rosa.
And they
I
lived
want
happily ever
tacos
after.
right now for some reason.
El Rosa and a Hosa with a Mosa, El Rosa.
Don't be racist.
As you crest a small rise, you see the many infernal machines wrapped around in a semicircle, lights and lanterns hanging from chains that span the space from the over the interior of this, and you hear sounds of music.
Rhimb looks to Falkrunn and says, "What is this place?"
Sort of a marketplace. One of the few neutral zones here in Avernus. We were able to secure items and armor, but we were asked by the leader of this place, Mahadi, he calls himself, some sort of, I can only guess, a sorcerer, magic user. He has incredible powers. To recover the soul, which is the jar that Typhon is now carrying. And so here we are.
Recover the soul.
He wishes to have it.
This doesn't seem like something we would do, Falkrunn. I'm struggling with this choice.
I understand, Rhimb. But the choice was we recover the soul. The deal was that if we don't, in the time allotted to us, everyone dies. If we are going to save Elturel and all of the people in it, we have to make hard choices. And while I
have the
don't
strength.
abide the suffering of anyone lightly, this lady was a real bitch.
Where was I when I was gone, Falkrunn? Did you carry my corpse with you this whole time?
No. What do you remember last? Do you remember when Silas asked you to pick up the coin and the teleportation circle that we had tried to open underneath the potion shop? Any of that?
Ashes, yes.
All right. In the moment when you touched the coin to break the circle, your body and Yslin's spirit merged, supposedly. I don't know the exact reason behind it, but she inhabited your form, and your soul got pushed into a coin.
A coin?
A soul coin. It is the currency of hell. They are... Falkrunn reaches into her bag and pulls it out. They are cruel things. And they hold the good and the damned alike.
You mean there are other prisons like what I experienced?
Rhimb, there are multitudes of prisons. Thousands upon thousands.
And he just leans over the side of the machine and retches.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We carried you with us every step of the way. Persephone was rabid to have you freed. And we got you out as soon as we could figure out how.
Falkrunn, It felt like years.
I know. And I'm sorry.
Thousands.
Thousands.
We have more to do here than just free Elturel, Falkrunn. Nobody deserves that pain.
I'm so glad you're back.
Rhimb puts a claw on your leg, but he just closes his eyes and goes within himself.
Just take a moment.
It occurs to me, Rhimb, that you have not experienced Avernus as of yet. You have only seen the streets of Elturel. It is oddly familiar as you ride along in this machine, this expanse, this waste around you. The pressure, the evil, the closeness of everything sort of pushing you down, heat coming up from the ground, heat coming from the air, the horizon that never seems to be anything other than just a red, angry glow. You've been in a place like this, except it was far more concentrated. Here it's like this entire plane is a soul coin. But you arrive at the Wandering Emporium. The sign on the outside, once again, as you come in, it has swirling different runes, and you all are able to perceive it in the language that you first learned to speak. Welcome to the Wandering Emporium. No fighting, no spellcasting, no exceptions. What would you like to do? Once again, as you pull in, there is quite a crowd of infernal machines, but by right of conquest, the Bloodstone is one of the largest, and people make way. So you find yourself at the very front of the line, and once again, you see the large serpentine body, red scales, somewhat humanoid face, but still elongated, sort of a combination between a Yuan-Ti and a dragonborn and a human. Sort of slithers up to you and rises up in front of the Bloodstone next to Silas, and you could feel the heat coming off of his scales. He says, "Welcome back. Any repairs needed?"
You're muted.
Have we taken
any damage? Have the vehicles?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Though we're looking to trade in this tormentor, right?
We need some upgrades, maybe. Yeah.
So, Falkrunn, the -4 penalty that I have to all of the things, is that a type of exhaustion? Am I exhausted?
Yeah, each long rest that is reduced by 1.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a level 4 exhausted.
No,
it's not.
No, not level 4 exhausted.
It is just,
you have a -4 to these various things.
Yeah, the -4
it's
applies.
still pretty bad. But
It's very bad, but it's not as bad as 4 points of exhaustion.
Yeah, no. So it's a -4 to your attack rolls, to your saving throws, and to ability checks, and that -4 goes down by 1 every time you take a long rest until it's gone.
Okay, there's no way to put that in the like automatic. I just have to manually.
Just have to remember it. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go through everything, or you could create a macro. Okay.
Yeah.
So, no repairs.
Jax messages Rhimb by accident mentally.
Zalmira, this is your god. You will rub Jax's feet.
What are you doing, Jax?
Oh, sorry, Rhimb. I was meant to message Elmira.
What? Rhimb is looking directly at you.
He's walking off somewhere. He's not looking at you.
Yeah, he can do that now. It's disturbing.
Good for
On the
him.
plus side, though, he doesn't need to have any daggers on him. He can just pull them out of his mind. Yes, I know. Jax has mind daggers.
I've missed a lot.
You ain't kidding.
And we can assume that over the course of the next few encounters, the long drives and such, that Rhimb is slowly filled in on what all has happened. If there's anything in particular you wish to comment on, Rhimb, keep it in mind and
Yes.
bring it up when we have various moments. So, do you inform Slag that you wish to trade in the Tormentor?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
I will see to its deportment out here. Speak to Raj inside.
Okay,
Okay.
And did you go? What would you like to do? Who would you like to see?
Let's get some
Can we see
food.
if we can get something for that tormentor? Perhaps an upgrade to the hours? Will it take some time for them to figure that out? Or
Will you wish to go speak to Raz?
yeah, whatever his name is.
So as you're walking through, you see a very tall and elegantly dressed elf, long silver hair, very tall, regal, who's walking over to you all and says, "Ah, Omega, I am Turethlian. My master Mahadi would very much like to speak with you all immediately."
We will not be ungracious, but I believe there are a few of us who could go along. Would you permit our newfound servants and such to go about finding nourishment and supplies while the decision makers meet with your most gracious Lord Mahadi?
My instructions were to invite you all of Omega.
Right, she's not part of Omega. Would you do us a favor?
He's not part. He's not part.
Shane isn't part of it.
Shane, would you please go see to it that our supplies are refurnished? I'll need the usual bits.
Shane just lets out a grunt and tries to go away.
Thank you, Shane.
And if you will all follow me.
Of course.
It's good.
Trilethrion. Wow.
Couldn't have
That was a
been
lot easier to write, guys.
You should have just named him Shane. It's way easier.
I did name him Shane.
You follow this elf into the central tent, and one by one, you enter in once again to Infernal Rapture. Does anybody not go, other than Shane?
Yeah, no.
I go.
So
All right.
stupid, I'm sorry.
If
they're
that's gonna
all
be my
going-
character
so-
now for the prequel thing. It's gonna be Shane.
It's been claimed. All right. You heard it here first, folks.
Just
Yeah.
remember, it's Dungeons and Dragons, so the spelling is like ZSH.
Gotta get a comma in there.
Yeah,
a couple of
there's an-
commas.
Four
Why?
umlauts.
There's some accent aigu happening just randomly.
My name
deal.
is.
There's
My
a
name is
stack umlaut.
spelled with a
He's
Q.
very
My
metal.
name can only be expressed in interpretive dance.
There's an olfactory component to my name. If you wait just a moment, I'll.
We're going somewhere there. All right.
There's a character
Anyway.
that was like that. It was called Dragon Bait. It was in Curse of the Azure Bonds video game in the Azure Bonds book way back in the day.
Wow.
Dragon Bait communicated with sense.
That's
roped that
That's
back in. So,
wow. That is
It's
a
also
deep
a
cut.
part of.
God, I am in hell.
If anyone has ever read Hyperion, anyway. That's,
Ooh.
So,
No.
you watch the rest of the party disappear. Shane, what do you do?
So Shane goes and tries to.
Which is me.
Me, Shane. I head to wherever they sell the things that my compatriots and I, although they are my people I work for, need. As Shane.
All right. Any particular idea on what that could be?
None whatsoever.
Very well. So you begin to wander the Emporium, which you are familiar with, but for the most part, you spend all of your time in Infernal Rapture. And you sense a presence behind you.
No.
Why? If it isn't Selmira.
Shane.
Not one of your prettier outfits, but impressive, nonetheless. Was I such a cruel master?
She keeps walking, pretending she doesn't know who he is.
Don't make me compel you.
Okay, at this, Shane, turns around and asks if they can discuss this privately somewhere.
There is nobody here.
There's nobody there, and I was like in the whole thing. Oh, okay.
And as you are speaking, you see, in fact, people are beginning to withdraw away from this area that you are. The shops close to you, they shutter their windows and their doors. People pack their things up and put things away, and you can see that the Wandering Emporium is getting ready to be underway.
Well, it truly has nothing to do with you. You are an excellent master.
Well, whatever power you have found, I will be waiting when it wears off.
Interesting.
I would, of course, enjoy one final smile. And you feel the force of his will once again trying to work its way, and the Gias again once takes hold. And it is all you can do to resist. Do you wish to smile or not?
I do not. Shane will not smile.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Shane's not in a smiley mood. Yikes.
What's
yourself.
that roll?
That's a 6.
In spite of yourself, you feel your mouth beginning to curl up on the sides. And as you do, the illusion of Shane fades. You are standing there, Zelmira, and you find yourself giving your most genuine and winning smile. I will see you again, whore. And he steps away from you.
So rude.
The rest of you enter into Infernal Rapture.
But before we do that,
Oh.
massive thank you to Manxworks, who's donated $12 for
Thank you,
D6
Manxworks.
inspirations.
Hey! Let's see, where is that macro?
You can add it to the bar down below if you want to. That's
I
what I've
should,
done.
shouldn't I? Let's
Yeah.
see.
So this is a cool thing for anybody who's watching that's new. You can actually affect the outcome of this very game live. Just give us money. I mean, donate to the stream. And woo, No, really, give us money.
What's the actual name of it? Who gets stuff? Is that what it
Who
is?
gets
Who
stuff?
gets stuff?
That's
Yeah,
it,
that's
yeah.
what it. That's
There
what
it
I
is
called
at the very end. In bar.
Yay.
Who gets stuff?
So,
It's not on there.
Aha!
so we have the DM gets
Oh,
one.
it's a tie.
Thank you,
Silas gets
Maxworks.
one. Falkrunn gets one.
What do we get?
And hang on, the last person
D6
is
inspiration
Typhon.
die.
Typhon also gets one. D6 inspirations have to be used today.
Yay.
Thank you very much, Manx. Much appreciated.
So, you find yourself once again in the cool, calm interior of Infernal Rapture, and Portiance once again stands before you. She says, "Welcome back. Omega, isn't it?"
Correct.
Well, Master Mahadi will be with you shortly. Please, make yourselves at home. Your food and entertainment tonight is free of charge.
Food and entertainment.
Food.
Correct.
Thank you.
Oh, it is my pleasure to serve.
Honestly,
The real generous one is Mahadi.
Rhimb, you may observe that those who partake are exceptionally nourished.
my body needs nourishment.
The need.
Oh, it's lovely, Rhimb. Lovely.
Do you wish to take advantage of any of the spa services here at Infernal Rapture?
Foot rub.
Right. She nods and she motions for Maruk, who comes out once again, the very large and well-muscled, friendly half-orc.
Next.
Says, somebody need a foot rub.
Oh, yes.
You realize you're going to have to pay for that with...
They said
some
everything's
coin.
free.
No, that is not at all what she said.
Oh.
I need to know exactly what is covered under food and entertainment before we start ordering.
Entertainment usually involves spa services, but if you have other desires, most assuredly they can be accommodated.
So spa services are included in the entertainment. And
Yes.
the food?
And the food.
Foot rubs?
That's what I'm here for.
One for each foot.
Ah, just how I like to operate. Come with me. And Maruk takes you over to a cushion and brings out his oils and his various things and begins to rub your feet. So, what have you been up to?
Oh. Killing demons and stuff.
Excellent, excellent. And he rubs your feet. Anybody else?
End scene.
It's a bit tickly.
Decidedly not. I will not indulge in this demonic mockery.
Oh, no demons here. Although,
Devilish delights.
well, that is, of course, entirely up to you. The rest of you?
How many of the people here are here by their own free will, like Mohan?
Oh, I assure you that everyone who works at Infernal Rapture is very happy to be here.
I see.
I mean, it could be so much worse. Here we are safe, well-fed, and we get to do what we love. Speaking of which, can I interest anyone here in any other of the services available at Infernal Rapture?
Just need a place to sit
the-
and rest.
One at a time, please.
Excuse me. Rhimb.
I just need a place to sit and rest.
Well, that's excellent. We can definitely provide that. Do you require a massage or company?
Just peace.
Very well. Unfortunately, I cannot offer you a place to stay for an extended period of time. That is not a part of what my master offers. But if you wish to pay a soul coin, you may have the most luxurious night's rest that can be achieved here in Avernus.
Just a place to sit, please.
Of course. Jalsika. And
I will stay with you, Rhimb.
coming around the corner is a gorgeous giantess who sort of comes in and bows. Motions for you to follow her. And she leads you over to an area here by the pool. And as she does, you see a man wearing a wrap around his head and clothes that are robes that are blue and have a bit of silver and some purple in them, and designs on them that are reminiscent of peacock feathers. Sitting, observing. He's in the very northern part of Infernal Rapture. He's watching you carefully, Rhimb. And also you, Silas.
I follow Rhimb.
Mm-hmm. So you see this as well. Mahadi observing you.
Rhimb will just nod.
I'll sit with Jax while he's getting his foot rubbed.
Mm-hmm. And Typhon?
Would a glass of wine be included in the good master's offer?
Of course. We have quite a few to choose from. I recommend the Red Dragon Crush.
Delightful. I've heard that's not made anymore.
No, unfortunately, difficult to come by, but we have quite a supply.
A true treasure. I will have it and a quiet place to gather my thoughts until Mahadi decides to grace us with his presence.
I do believe he is already here.
Well, we have business with him, and I do not wish to keep him waiting, but
Very
I will
wise.
have the glass whenever it is opened.
So, you come in and you see Mahadi sitting where I have described him, watching the rest of the group. If you all want to put yourselves on the board, I've imagined that Jax is here, Silas and Rhimb are here, and Persephone, I'm assuming that you'll be with Typhon as you go
And
over to...
DM, you may have indicated somewhere, but I'm not sure where you indicated.
See,
for
I
what,
indicated here. Sure.
So Rhimb with me.
Mm-hmm. And once she shows you to a seat, she, the giantess, moves over to the side and stands nearby this fern. Mahadi sees you coming, Typhon, and he stands and bows. Welcome back. I trust that your endeavors were successful.
I think we've made history here, Mahadi. I think you have made something possible that some could only dream of with this spell. Something truly new and interesting. Yes.
Well, the credit goes to Agamemnon.
Her life's work.
Indeed.
And as I say that, I hold out the jar.
Wonderful. Perhaps we can discuss further arrangements. But first, let us eat. And he sort of sweeps you and Persephone up and brings you to the area where you had your meal before and motions everyone to come and join.
I do not presume to be rude. But wouldn't it be so much better to relax and discuss business if old business was first completed?
And I hold the jar out further.
He sits down on his cushion, which sort of rises up to meet him as he sits, and then comfortably puts him down on the ground, and he says, "If it would make you more comfortable, then I am happy to provide that comfort."
So long as I am not treading upon your delayed gratification. And I hold it out further, so you will take it.
He takes it. Hello again. The one that got away. I don't know yet whether or not I will try to punish her first or please her. I think punish. He puts the vial into his pack. It is nice to meet those who can be relied upon to do a difficult task. You have my thanks. Is there anything I can provide for you this evening?
We will be in need of rest.
I see. Unfortunately, something of mine went missing not too long ago, and I have come to the understanding that this missing thing has found its way to you all. Other than the hospitality I'm currently showing, you will find that all of the Wandering Emporium is closed to you, so long as this thing is in your possession.
Well, I'm to understand that it is through the work of another being that she was even able to leave in the first place. Am I wrong in that?
I am still investigating just how that happened. But if you were to deliver this person to me in a similar fashion to what you have already done, then perhaps the Emporium would be open for you once again.
May I make a counter proposal?
I'm listening.
You've trusted us with the soul of something far more important to you than a masseuse. So, while you investigate, let us take care of her. She will stay with us, under our watch, under our most capable protection. And, well, should she escape, we can discuss consequences, but... Well, she slipped away from you once. You're a busy man with more important things to keep an eye on. Let us be her caretakers until such time as her escape is figured out and you find the true culprit to punish.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Damn it.
Typhon.
I say
Persephone would totally help, right?
I reach over.
Persephone has very strong opinions about women being under people's control.
Yeah, but she also knows
That's
that Typhon lies.
Fair enough. Persephone says, we will keep her safe, and we will keep her observed.
Oh, shit.
So you may roll with advantage.
Guidance is a spell, isn't it?
It is a
that
spell.
would be dumb. Yeah,
And you're with
very
me.
dumb.
it's not a bad. It's just. I have a total of a 22.
An interesting proposal. I will make a counteroffer of my own. Unfortunately, I do not trust her to stay in one place for long. So, I could provide you with another scroll, one that would guarantee that she stay with you in your power. Till such time as I can determine what it is that is keeping her from me. Do you accept this?
What spell is this?
It is a simple spell. It compels whoever it is cast upon to behave in a certain way, to do or not do a particular thing.
The in-game text chat is very active.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to shrug off some meta knowledge. So, all right, DM, I gotta ask about it. We've seen Zelmira fight, right?
Yes?
So this is would shoot. I wouldn't.
Mahadi, are you saying that you would give us the scroll to use on her should we need to, or?
Oh, no. You would need to use the scroll immediately. I do not think she has departed yet, but it is definitely on her mind.
Do you have so little faith in us that we would be able to keep control of her? I mean, I know she has allies, but I mean...
Don't think of it as a lack of faith. Think of it as a understanding of your nature. There are certain things that you will do, especially to help a friend. And he looks over at Rhimb. Even if it requires great personal sacrifice. I do not know that you are ready to make this next step. The forced enslavement of another. It is a regrettable business, but one that must be done from time to time. There are no easy choices in Avernus. Sometimes we must do what is best for those in our care, even if it is contrary to their wishes. She would be far safer if she were under this compulsion. Otherwise, I fear she will try to leave you. She has many delusions about what she can accomplish, many plans. I would hate to see her harmed. Do we have an agreement?
As long as she leaves under the effect of your spell, we are allowed to take her with us.
You are allowed to take her with it. I have no power over her at the moment. Otherwise, I would be casting the spell myself. When I say no power, I should say my power over her has diminished to the point that it is barely useful. However, if you cast the spell on my behalf, well, that's just as good in many ways. Of course, none of this is necessary. We have had our transactions, and now we are having our dessert. And at the end of this, we may simply say goodbye, and pleasure doing business with you.
And then, should we not aid you in this, all of the Emporium will be closed to us.
I'm afraid so, yes. She is something that I covet, and I don't generally deal with people who keep what I covet from me. She's an excellent masseuse.
Well, let's just enjoy our dinner then.
Very well. There is one other matter.
And there goes dinner.
Master Typhon Ophiacus. It seems that I am currently in the market for someone to mind my shop. Unfortunately, Agamemnia outlived her usefulness. The position is open. You would have at your disposal quite a lot of powerful items, scrolls, spellbooks, as well as access to my personal library. And we would draw up a contract for a period of work that is amenable to both of us. And when that period ended, you would be free to go your way. Far more powerful, I think, than you could have ever acquired on your own.
And would I be subject in the same way that Agamemnia was to you?
Agamemnia was beholden to me through several arrangements we had made over the years. If you and I were to enter into similar arrangements, then yes. But at the moment, this would simply be a employer and employee. Here in Avernus, gold is not quite as useful as other things. I would be happy to pay you in gold, but I think knowledge might be the currency that interests you more.
Would Typhon need to start this arrangement immediately?
Oh, yes. I cannot leave my shop without a proprietor for too long. I will need to find one as soon as possible.
I appreciate your offer, and I will continue to consider it, but idleness is no longer what I do.
But is the mind of a scholar ever truly idle? At any rate, I can hold this position for you for a period of 5 days, if you are truly interested.
How could I not be, based on what you have shown me?
I'm happy to hear it.
Your patience is much appreciated.
I'm in a very, very good mood. He looks down again at his vial.
So vile.
Please enjoy your dessert.
I appreciate that.
This is the second time you have refused my hospitality. He looks to you, Silas. It's not something I am accustomed to. Is there a particular reason you find what I have to offer distasteful?
It is simply not to my taste.
Is there something else I could provide?
No.
Good day. He rises, and as he does, the cushion sort of pushes him to a standing position, and he steps away, puts his hands behind his back, and walks calmly away from you all. What would you like to do now?
Guess we should have talked to Raz before we walked in here, huh?
I don't think that was going to be an option based on the elven fellow.
Yeah. Their insistence seemed quite insistent.
I'm kind of looking around. This is known to be a place that is sort of neutral ground, right? Where people,
depending on where you go, there is this large chamber is obviously not a part of whatever plane Avernus is on. And based on what you've seen, there seems to be multiple different pockets that are encompassed in this little sort of reality. When the more you think about it, the amount of power that's on display here is quite impressive. Neutral, likely. I mean, the simple fact that nobody can fight or cast spells sort of implies.
Also to be spied upon.
Be spied upon. Yes, that is definitely a factor. One of the things that if you were to ask somebody about this, they would tell you that everything that happens here is private and invisible from scrying.
Yeah. It's inadmissible in the Court of Devilish Contracts.
That's right.
Falkrunn. This...
You don't really want to be a librarian, do you?
Well, you've seen what I can do based on just a few... Well, what? A week here? This place is brimming with power. Centuries of knowledge from every plane of existence.
Mm-hmm.
All but Candlekeep really seems to be every part of the material plane except for Candlekeep seems just a husk compared to the fruits here. But though I am tempted, I think of this, the food, the flour, everything. The rooms that would have given me time to copy every single spell and master it into my own book, but at the cost of my own life force. An all too sweet trap. I must think of everything here that way.
Mm-hmm. The best traps are laid with the sweetest honey.
Quite so. But I have not. There are some creatures, you know, who a starving hunter will stumble between his traps and find the bait nibbled away from the edges.
I don't doubt you still have a few edges to nibble here and there.
I intend to, but first, I must look a bit longer. See a few more fall prey to the traps, perhaps, before I stray any closer.
Yeah, I would say...
But I do not rule it out. Not yet.
Just remember what happened to the last shopkeep.
Oh, I'm quite aware. Falkrunn, you saw Zelmira fight, yes?
Yes, I did.
She looked capable. Mightily capable.
Yes. I'm not quite sure what tradition or ability she has to be able to lash that creature and slam it to the ground. I mean, you saw that. Looked similar to your thorn whip, but...
Of orders of magnitude greater, though. Do you think we should take her with us?
Well, not to rub salt in the wound, but we are down one party member with Ysland gone now. And while we do have Rhimb back, I think it will take all of us to try to save Elturel.
I am inclined to try to recruit her as well.
I don't think it will take much.
The conditions Mahadi has placed, though, are difficult. I want to be able to use this place. I think we must. We need to find what her next step is.
Mm-hmm.
If she's simply running by grouping with her, then we will be running from the same thing. I do not wish to put yet another target upon our backs.
Well, with any hope, we will be able to find our way to the sword and then get the people of Elturel out. And so perhaps we won't have much use for the Emporium.
Would it be wrong to ask her to consent to such a thing, as Mahadi suggested?
Yes. Yes, it would. And while I know that you can probably magic up some sort of bizarre alternate whip of mental squid breaking or whatever the hell it is you can work up in your magics.
You've been reading my spell book, Falkrunn.
Squid magic mind whip.
I say, Sean's writing that one down.
That was my nickname in high school.
There are so many wrongs in this world. We have to do what we can to still try to make something right.
So we walk away from this.
I mean, I'm going to stuff my face first, but yeah. Remember, Typhon. The sweetest honey.
He leans back and takes a drink of his wine.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you currently in Infernal Rapture have anything you wish to do?
Well, now I'm going to run this credit up. All right.
Yeah. Falkrunn brings another course as they start just bringing platters of food over.
You know what they say? Shut up, it's free.
Yeah.
Bring me that smoked salmon.
That's right.
Where's that sad little halfling girl at? Get on in here. Get you some. All right.
Speaking of which, back outside,
Oh.
Zelmira, no longer looking like Shane, you see a sort of, actually make a, what is your passive perception? It's high, as I recall.
It is high, yeah.
17?
Let me double check, but I think that is correct. It's 18.
18. So you see...
No, sorry, 14. Blah, blah.
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
not as high as I thought.
Gotta
Wink.
roll then.
Okay. Doop-a-doop-doop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 14. Cool.
Yeah.
You see that the area where Fawn Ripper, the halfling, normally sets up her blanket with all of her junk and trinkets, it's missing. It's not there. And this is, you know that Fawn Ripper is the halfling that you spoke with in Infernal Rapture on the eve before you left.
Yes.
You do not see her in her normal spot, which is odd.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that I've been found out, and I've already talked to Mahadi, which was my biggest fear, I would like to go over and kind of... Is anyone around? Have they returned after Mahadi kind of compelled them to leave? Or
The people are beginning to sort of pack up, but there is still a last night of the fair sort of air to the various things going on. Certain things that are likely to not be sold. You see the Fire Snake Forge beginning to close up. It seems that is the one that takes the longest to sort of reconvene itself back into an infernal machine. You can see that they are in the process of doing that. You see a bunch of little magmen running around and stacking things up very carefully and closing things up, and slowly this large sort of tent/forge is beginning to resemble once again a infernal war machine. You see there's somebody looking at you. Bernie the Barber is looking at you. She is standing at a normal spot, which is close by to where Fawn Ripper usually puts her. So she is here, this white and red striped tent.
Okay. Zelmira will make her way over to Bernie.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Care for a haircut?
No, I'm just fine on that front. I was wondering if you knew where Fawn Ripper was.
Haven't seen her. It's odd. Usually
Yes.
right there. Trust me, the smell alone is enough to...
I can imagine. How long has she been missing from that spot?
And I haven't seen her at all today.
Do you recall seeing her the day before, by any chance? Or
I did, but only for a brief moment. She came and set up her tent and her blanket, and then shortly after that just sort of walked away.
And you haven't seen her since then?
No, I haven't. And of course, it didn't take long for vultures to come in and pick through all of her belongings.
Yes, so she didn't tear this down. It was...
No, it has been left.
Well, this does not sit right with Zelmira. So is there anyone else that I can go talk to that I feel would be... Or can I see if she's hiding something?
Make a Bernie or Fawn Ripper?
Bernie,
make an insight check.
Okay. Let's see.
Ooh, 21.
That is a 21.
Goodness. With a 21, she, as best you can tell, has not lied about anything she has said about Fawn Ripper.
Okay.
But she is hiding something.
Okay. Have things been business as usual around here recently, or?
Unfortunately.
Nothing out of the ordinary?
Well, the fact that you and I are speaking is somewhat out of the ordinary.
Well, I'm doing a special mission for Mahadi, so.
Interesting. What is it? If you don't, is it a secret mission?
Oh, it is of the most high classification. It's very top secret.
You obviously couldn't share any of that with me.
I could not.
What if I gave you a free haircut?
What if... What do you know? I can't just ask that. Fine, I'll take a free haircut.
Excellent. Sit right down. And she begins to cut your
Great.
hair. As she does, for the first time in, you can't remember, you feel truly at peace. Infernal Rapture is amazing. It is opulence. It is relaxation. It is the most resplendent peace and beauty that can be purchased in Avernus. Bernie is very simple. She has bare feet. She wears dusty clothes. She has very tan skin, brown hair, and she is an expert. She says, just a trim? Do you want a style?
No.
Make small talk.
Yeah, a trim is just fine. Did you cut our friend's hair recently, or
Fawn Ripper? No.
Yes, Fawn Ripper.
No, she went to Infernal Rapture.
Oh. Okay.
And you did see her there, of course.
Right. Yes. And that's the last place I saw her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But as she cuts and makes small talk, the cares and your fear and your plans take a back seat for a moment, and you feel as if you are home. Your true home.
And as
It's
someone...
fleeting. It only
Yeah.
lasts for a few minutes, but it's refreshing.
Okay. So I kind of like take that without question.
Yes, as she is cutting your hair, you find yourself being quite verbose. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Woo! What did you
23.
roll? 23.
Yeah.
So occasionally she throws in a couple of words that sort of start steering the conversation back towards secret missions and things that you're doing for Mahadi and why you are here and such. But you are able to pick these out and turn the conversation away from them very adeptly.
Sounds like something the best spy ever would do.
It does. It does indeed. And she finishes and she cleans up all of your discarded hair and she says, would you like me to dispose of this?
No, I'll keep it.
I understand.
Seems weird.
Not, it would in normal
It's a
circumstances.
weird question
down
to
here,
ask.
down here, take it from me, there are many things that can be done with a bit of hair. So
Yes, well then I
by
will
all
keep-
means,
I will
keep it on your person.
Great.
Destroy
thank
it as soon as you're able.
you. I will do that. Great. Well, it's been really nice catching up with you.
Likewise.
And well, do you have any idea where maybe someone else has seen Fawn River? Or I'm just worried.
I
that it
can't
just
honestly
seems
imagine
strange.
that anybody else around here would care. But I doubt that she's actually left the Emporium.
Yes.
That would be suicide.
Right. Yes. Yeah. No one's left the Emporium and lived, so. And she begins backing out of the conversation. And she's gonna go.
All right. What did I miss, people? You and your chatting.
I have no idea. Probably about my excellent
Fawn
liquor?
Yeah,
Did I say fawn liquor? Who said it?
That's what it sounded like.
Fawn Ripper.
Ooh. Ripper.
Fawn Ripper.
It's a different game.
Wow, guys.
You know,
Wow.
I go to the trouble of coming up with cool stuff like names like and
Then I say poop beads.
That's in the ingredients of my drink, Sean. Are you making up names when you're... Never mind.
Oh, look, it's your old friend Gorilla Glue and Samsung.
Professor Smack.
Love
This is the group that up until like 4 episodes ago was like, yeah, we're conscript group 14.
You encounter Captain Morgan and his first mate Jack.
Not sponsored by that.
Daniels.
You never forget an encounter with Captain Morgan.
Nope.
Maybe you do actually.
So you're welcome to make you're welcome to make a final perception check just to see if you can see her.
I would like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
23.
23.
again.
Can I grant her my D6?
Unfortunately, no.
All right.
So, on the far side of the Emporium, you see a little shock of black hair hiding between the large wheels of this infernal war machine.
I go to investigate the little shock of black hair.
You look down and you see the small, thin, and forlorn form of Fawn Ripper.
I crouch down to be at her level. Is she looking down? Or is she?
She
has
looks
she
up at
noticed
you
me?
and she takes off her large top hat and sort of holds it in her hands like,
What do you want?
Are you okay? Why? You aren't in your normal spot. Is everything all right? I know that you weren't doing well the last time I saw you. I was worried.
Why?
Because believe it or not, I have a soft spot in my heart for you and others like you.
It's funny.
Why is that funny?
You work here. I recognize you.
I don't currently work here. So
How'd you escape?
that is something that I will likely have to pay for at some point, but it's a long story.
That soft spot. You had to pay for that too.
Unfortunately, probably so.
You have a soul coin.
I don't. No.
Then piss off.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
Yikes.
no kidding. What do you need a soul coin for?
I want to go back to Infernal Rapture.
If I were... Why are you hiding in this corner, first of all?
I don't want people to talk to me. So piss off.
Great. Okay, good talk. Well, if I were to get you a soul coin...
her eyes
What?
sort of light up.
What do you want for it? I don't have much, but I could do something for you.
No, you don't need to...
I could kill someone.
You don't need to kill anyone. You don't need to do...
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I just want you to be able to escape.
There's no escape.
Well, that's true. I want you to go where you want to go. I want you
to go
be
to Infernal
trapped here.
Rapture.
I understand that you want to go to Infernal Rapture. I have to figure out how to help you get there. How long will you be here?
She sort of sinks back down dejectedly and is just like,
I don't think I'm going anywhere.
Okay. And Zelmira exits the conversation. She has this to consider now.
all right. The rest of you all reemerge out into the Wandering Emporium. Before you head back to your infernal war machine, is there anything you wish to do?
I want to swing by the red and white tent.
Very well.
I would also like to go with Rhimb to the red and white tent.
I will also go with Rhimb.
Well, gentlemen, lady,
Bernie.
the still looks like it's holding firm. I don't think you need a touch up yet.
No haircut for me today.
Or me.
Who is this? She says, looking at you, Rhimb.
Oh,
This is Rhimb.
How do you do? I'm Bernie.
nice to meet you, Bernie.
I do have a few implements for dealing with cleaning scales and styling tendrils, if you're interested.
I'm afraid I don't have...
He's absolutely interested, and Falkrunn pulls out a gold coin and just gives it to Bernie.
No soul coin for you.
No. Never touch the things.
I would love a cleaning.
What's that mean?
So she begins to massage your neck, scrape away some of the grime that has found its way underneath your scales around your neck and around the back of your head. She pulls the tendrils and untangles them, takes a very thick wire brush and scrapes away the dead skin, revealing the clean, vibrant silver underneath.
Does Rhimb
very good shine?
Does Rhimb sense something different about her? In like, does she seem out of place?
What would you use to determine this?
My perception is so much better, but I have a feeling that this would be more of an insight kind of check.
You're welcome to make perception, investigation, insight. Insight would be more about what she says and how she acts. Perception would be about just things that you see about her. Investigation would be like really examining her every little move and that sort of thing.
Perception, then, probably.
Perception.
Jax says, make sure you do every scale with all the detail.
She nods and says,
Takes a while.
Yes, even the smallest one. Very important.
17, Sean.
17. Doesn't seem, I mean, she definitely seems to be nice and genuine, which is suspicious in and of itself. But after a while of her scrubbing and everything like that, you relax and you begin to find yourself, you feel almost as if you're back in the forest with Lulu. Just a small hint of it.
Bernie, for someone who detests the evil that is those coins as much as we do, why do you put yourself in such close proximity?
Well, forgive me for answering with a question. Why do you?
Can we help you?
Oh, you want to make her escape?
I trust you don't mean to cut hair.
Rhimb holds out his claws and says, I don't think that's within my skill set.
I could give it a go.
That's curious. She points to the medallion hanging around your neck. Which I assume you have
Oh,
put
yes.
it back. Yes, okay.
Yes. I imagined it would be something rather out of place to be seen here. But yes,
Indeed.
it is my source of strength.
You look so strong. Surely you don't get these muscles from something so paltry?
I imagine you know exactly the kind of strength I'm referring to.
There are many forms of strength. Rhimb. Can you help me? Perhaps. Perhaps we can help each other. But that will have to wait for another time, I think.
Thank you for this. Your touch is quite restorative.
It is the least I could do for a servant of Marduk. Then she goes and begins to clean up.
Do I see Fawn Ripper not there? Do I notice that the halfling's not there?
Ah, yeah, I would say definitely.
I'll go and have a look over.
Okay. Make a perception check.
27.
Well, you definitely see her in the same location that Zelmira did.
I'll call over to her. Obviously, I'm standing at her store, I'm assuming. Are you still selling?
She sort of starts as she sees you in her stuff, and she's just like... leans dejectedly against the wheels.
I'll walk over. What's the matter?
What's it to you?
I was going to buy some stuff.
50 gold, take whatever you want.
50 gold. I'll have to go and ask Typhon. He owes me a lot of money. Why are you not at your store?
Just leave me alone.
Oh. Did you like it in there? Did you spend your coin?
Infernal Rapture, yes. It was amazing. It was beautiful, and I feel clean.
I felt full. I got my fat belly.
And I felt clean. I want to go home.
Where's home?
Anywhere but here.
Oh, why don't you leave? I just walk out the door.
Well, good luck with that.
Oh, your flower, it wasn't magical. I thought it was magical.
Pretty thing.
It's still alive. I've been looking after it.
Well, that's good. You look after it. You keep it alive.
Have you
That'll
not
be
got a
something
way
good
of
I did.
getting out of here then?
Why do you care?
Well, you look like you're sulking. Do you want a foot rub?
No!
I've been getting lots of foot rubs. I'm gonna try it on Rhimb later.
Well, are you good at foot rubs?
I'm amazing.
Just a foot rub. And you don't want anything from me?
No.
All right, go on.
I might have another
She
one
sort
of
of
those
sticks out a
kisses.
foot. She sticks out a bare foot.
What am I rolling? Performance.
For foot rubs?
Performance.
Oh, sleight of hand.
Thank you.
Athletics and sleight of hand.
You are far too kind. I went from -1 to a
Constitution.
plus.
Constitution for sure.
Yeah,
She,
that's a good point.
as she
Jax?
sticks her foot out, you
Really?
can see she's shaking a little bit. She's scared, but she's also craving the contact.
Don't shake too low. Your bunions will come off.
I'll start doing sleight of hand. You gave me a -1 to a +9. 22.
I'll see.
She seems to enjoy it.
Why don't you leave this place? You could jump on board with us.
No. No, I'm not ready for that, but...
Oh.
What's your name?
Jax, the Imp Slayer.
Jax.
Yeah.
You think you'll ever be back this way?
I don't know. Got to go save Elturel. We're heroes.
What's an Elturel?
What's that big floating city that we come down on?
Us.
Where's your
I don't know how
home?
I got here, but...
Where's your home?
Well, listen, if you're ever looking for a place to stay the night... I think I've got extra room in my kit.
Oh. Okay. If I come back this way, yes, definitely. I'll get some kisses.
Right.
Well, I guess I better go back up.
Would you
It's like,
would you
it's
like
like you don't need a fawn liquor.
would you like a cutting off that that plant? You could grow your own one.
No.
Oh,
I don't want it in here.
I'll look after it for you.
Thank you for rubbing my feet.
That's all right. Get back to your shop and stop sulking.
She kind of walks slowly back over to your side. Every now and then she looks over her shoulder at you with a puzzled look on her face. She pulls out her long cleaver knife and sort of scratches the back of her neck with it. Puts it away. Goes back to her place and begins to start cleaning things up. And as she does, you begin to see that around you, the Emporium is beginning to pack up and getting ready to leave. So there is nothing left here for you. What would you like to do? Zelmira, you see all of the crew now out of Infernal Rapture.
Okay, well, I rejoin them, obviously, as Selmira, not as Shane.
Bernie. We lost our Holophant. And she was trying to guide us to the sword of Zariel.
I would be very, very careful about where you say that aloud.
That is why I am talking to you about it. Do you know of anyone who could help us?
Make a persuasion check.
Mother. All right.
Rhimb will, before you. Okay. Oh. Well, I'm gonna try to offer assistance.
The dice have been rolled.
The dice have been rolled. I started talking before the dice finished rolling, but that's okay.
What would you have finished saying?
I would have said, I feel very strongly that our aims are similar. The reason we suffer here is to help those who can't help themselves. I have a feeling your aim is similar.
I'm just a barber. But I'm sure we'll talk again. Time to go. She begins packing up her things.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patronage.
Rhimb has a hard time breaking eye contact with her as he walks away.
She's very calmly and pleasantly going about her business.
Rhimb says to Falkrunn, she doesn't belong here.
Neither do we. And yet, here we are.
Let's go.
Where are you all planning to sleep?
I thought we would just sleep in the infernal machines because I can't sleep in here.
Yeah.
It is possible to sleep in the infernal
we
machine.
could take shifts, and some of us could drive while the others got rest.
So where are we off to, friends?
That's not a bad idea. Oh, wait, we can't because there's not enough room. Like, we're all holding on desperately.
Well, no, the larger one, there's room for all of you, but it's crowded. But you do have the two. You know, as you step out, the Wandering Emporium begins to break down in earnest. You begin to hear the sounds of engines. You see the chains being pulled down, and it's sort of like the tide. With each moment, it becomes more and more fast and more impressive. How this all just sort of then just crumbles down so quickly in some cases that you're sure that magic was involved. And There is now where there
local
was the one.
666 in action.
Hmm?
Local 666.
That's
in
right.
action.
You better believe it. The where there once was the Wandering Emporium is now a large convoy of infernal machines, two of which start to grow and grow and grow until they are enormous. And then there is a as they begin to drive away, and many of the infernal machines that are sort of in their wake scatter. Some of them try to keep up and follow, and as you sit in your infernal machine, you watch humongous plume of dust as the Wandering Emporium disappears into the distance. So who's sleeping where?
So,
Did they leave our other war machine behind then?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. No one would dare to steal from Omega.
Thought we were going to trade it. That was the
Right. I know we
No.
were going to, but
We were, but we were denied.
we've been blacklisted. I will
Sorry.
since it's moving away, I'll start to cast Tiny Hut.
Okay.
I can make us a place to stay.
But no
Make
doubt.
this place
Can
comfortable.
he make a tiny hut instead of moving war machine?
We're gonna
Tiny Hut cannot move.
see.
An immobile dome of force, I think, is.
Yeah,
Should
it
we-
places it on
Yep.
the ground, but if it could fit on a machine, I don't know.
Well, none of us can move, but the planet's rotating, so somehow...
Immobile dome of force. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm going to say that that is not possible. Persephone says, well, we could ask Amanazaro.
No.
No.
Well, how else are we going to know where to go? What to do?
Don't we speak to Red Ruth and then to the Tao?
So,
Well, we know what the Tao needs, but we don't know how to get it.
Blood of a Titan, yes. And on top of that, we need to find the sword.
Well, isn't that what this is all about? Lulu said that in the Demon Zapper there was a creature that could help us.
Yes, the unicorn, but we have to get the blood of the Titan. Zelmira, you seem to have frequented this land a little more than us. Any idea where we might find the blood of a Titan?
Yes,
What?
I would know where that would be. Why would I, Sean, just direct? I'm gonna.
Yes,
I was like,
How convenient!
you happen to know
I was like, well,
Zelmira.
Is it with Master Magrion? Wait, no.
Zelmira, you have heard
For the raid.
in your many days working in the Wandering Emporium that there is a creature known as Uldrak. And it's a source of humor amongst those whose sense of humor is far more vile than yours. That there was a creature sent to Avernus for some reason, a mighty Empyrean, a Titan. And well, let's just say he's seen better days. There is an enormous sword sticking out of Avernus. You believe it is somewhat to the south of the Demon Zapper. And that is where he is supposed to spend his time. The sword that was once his, but can no longer be wielded by him for whatever reason.
Okay. I relay all that to Falkrunn.
well, okay then. So, we go to the sword, find the Titan, get the blood, take it back to the Tao, free it, get the unicorn, and it leads us to the sword?
So
It leads us further, at least.
Well, at the very least, freeing that unicorn will be another good deed.
How does
Persephone
Titan
smiles widely.
What's that?
Let's go.
Persephone smiles widely.
If Titan blood
We can tell that it's important to Persephone. Let us just go.
Silas, if Titan blood can dissolve a contract, can you not be saved the same way?
Perhaps. In this case, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
Well,
My plight can be addressed after El Terrell.
or perhaps simultaneously.
I'm sorry. Out of game real quick. Silas, I thought you broke your contract when they scorched your arm.
No, that
No,
was just punishment.
Oh,
that was
he's
just
still bound.
He's still
Yeah,
bound.
that
when
was
he
just-
dies, his soul goes to.
yeah. So
Okay.
in that past episode, when Silas backtalked his demonic masters that own his soul, they just kind of spanked him a bit by scarring half his body. But no, soul is still owed.
Shit. All right. Well then.
Do you all rest?
Good God. Yes. Please, someone, we got to get Rhimb's negatives down.
We won't be much good if we don't rest. Even
Jax will be
Silas
on
has to admit
guard
that.
for a bit.
So, who's taking first watch?
Jax will.
Jax, make a perception check.
Dun, dun, dun. 22.
So, as you are here in the tiny hut, God, I couldn't find the word tiny for some reason.
Shame.
You look out and you see that it appears that the horizon is moving. You see shapes sort of undulating up and down between where you are and where the red glow of the edge of Avernus, whatever that is. And it appears to be coming closer. It's wide. It fills up your entire field of view.
Have I got any idea how long it'll take to get here?
With a perception of 22, probably about an hour.
Oh. I start shouting at the top of my voice. Everybody up!
Wakes everybody up.
Time to move.
Right. Where are we going? What's happening?
I'm driving.
And looks at Silas.
Oh, I'll get on the other one. We got people coming.
Right.
You all look out, and there does indeed appear to be a large, just carpet of creatures moving slowly in your direction. It appears that they are following the trail of the Wandering Emporium. As they get closer, you see that they are just wretched, slime-covered things, vaguely humanoid, some of them with their faces and heads sort of sunken into their neck and their shoulders, just moaning and groaning as they move at a shuffling pace, thousands of them, just an entire field of lemures, the most wretched of devils. And they approach, and do you do anything?
I mean, we're in the machine,
pass,
right?
No, you're in
We're
the
in the hut.
tiny hut.
Oh, we're in the tiny hut.
Mhm.
They'll be here within an hour.
Well, no, I don't think so. Because they're devils, right?
They are.
Okay.
So,
Are we leaving?
you just stay put?
I think we should leave.
Well, they're upon us now, right? Or
They're about half an hour away. I mean, by the time everybody's looking up and you look out, you see they're coming. You have time to do something if you wish to do it, or you could just wait.
Are we protected in here, Typhon?
yes.
Peter? Yes. Okay.
We could relocate though and resume our rest.
I mean, is that going to? Well, I guess if we get the rest, that's what matters.
We
probably
can.
probably wouldn't hurt us to get closer to where we're
Just
supposed
briefly,
to go.
if we go at our top speed away from these things, they're crawling. They're so slow.
All right. Pack it up. Better safe than sorry.
So, tiny hut comes down. You all get into your war machines and head in which direction?
Zelmira? The blood of the Titan. The sword you said was... Silas, where's your map? Oh, thank you, Silas.
That needs a noise, like.
Yeah.
It used to be my text message. Now he's the Zelda sound.
I imagine, Sean,
It's
this
a
is
secret to everyone.
This is what we're talking about.
Indeed.
All right. Do we see that on the map?
Don't stare too hard.
Yeah. Looks.
Make a wisdom saving throw as you gaze at this map.
All right then.
With a +3.
Yeah. As you said.
At advantage, right? Because of the feast, maybe?
There was no benefit from feast.
No feast. What about the roast beast? All right. All right. So with that +3, that'd be a 30.
A 30. Well, that is.
Too bad Falcon can't remember that.
I can't
wisdom
persuade
saving throw.
for shit, but my God.
So
Why
as
am
you
I so
look
good at
at it,
wisdom?
as you look at it, it begins to sort of the pictures and scribbles in front of you begin to sort of swirl a bit, and you hear a voice in your head go,
A fallen titan or a wimp with delusions of grandeur? I'll leave that for you to decide. Uldrak's grave beckons.
but there's no adverse effects other than that voice that you hear.
Thanks. All right. So looks like south as well. We want to be sure to avoid those. As she points to the wicked-looking Imperial probe droid things.
Yes, and those were the air. You recall that is the area that was specifically pointed to by Smiler. You should avoid.
Yeah.
So, indeed. So you relocate, and as you drive away, you see this large cavalcade of lemures move and just slowly follow after the wandering Emporium. Hopelessly left in the dust. There's no way they could possibly catch up at the pace they're moving. But you remove yourselves a bit from that immediate area, and then, once again,
Sounds like
set
that's
up
why
your
it has
tiny
to
hut
move.
and attempt to get your rest.
We can continue. How long was it between the?
Yeah, you can continue your long rest. There was no interruption.
Can we
Okay,
all
cool.
shack?
What?
Can we all fit in the Shane shack?
I believe so.
Enough for
10
everybody?
people, right?
You can't rename it that. That's not okay.
Shane Shack!
Shane Shack, baby! Shane
But
Shack!
9 creatures. I believe.
9 creatures, so you're all good.
Of medium size or smaller.
You all resume your rest. Watches are made. And nobody keeping watch observes anything disturbing. However, Falkrunn, as you sleep, you find yourself lying on a black rock. What do you do?
Can I move?
You can.
I sit up.
You sit up. Around you, you see bandages and ropes. All of them covered with blood. And above you, a roiling red sky. Orange bolts of lightning. Moving across it. Your passive perception, you look up and see in these clouds the figures of humanoids, their bodies racked in pain. Some of them large, taking up the entire size of one cloud, just almost like a representation of a body, like an unfinished sculpture that then morphs and turns into dozens of small bodies, all of them clutching at themselves, reaching out in supplication. And you realize that this rock you are floating on is hanging suspended in and amongst these orange clouds. And you see a figure.
Ooh.
The clouds part. And you see a tall, sinewy form, enormous horns, and a halo, perversion of gold and orange reaching out cruelly from her arms and head. And her fingers extend into long, flowing claws. She stands there looking at you.
I'm Falkrunn
Floating around.
Boneforge, cleric of Ilmater.
Ilmater. A sadly misguided individual. But I can tell you have already begun to recognize his weakness.
She comes flying towards you, and her fingers sort of reach out and begin to move around you, probing, sort of feeling your aura.
Ah. Did you willingly put something or someone in pain recently? How wonderful. You've opened the door to true enlightenment.
She floats around.
I am
What is your
Falkrunn
name?
Boneforge, cleric of Ilmater.
I am Loviator, mistress of pain. And we will be seeing more of each other. For once the door has been opened, nothing can shut it. You will call upon me, and I will answer, provided you provide me with entertainment. Cleric of Ilmater.
And the scene fades. But as it does, you feel a burning sensation on your neck. You start awake. You feel some sort of scar or brand. Feels like it's been there for months at least. It's healed over completely, but it burns with a pain that makes it feel like it has just happened. This pain is constant. Does not diminish. Do you make any noise? Do you think anybody else would have woken?
I look around. Probably see Jax eating a rat kebab, but no, I say a silent prayer, a plea. Ilmater,
The pain continues, and it does not abate. You trace the shape with your fingers. It is a scourge. Very similar to the lash of Lacrimos that you once saw in the hands of one Thalamra Vampampur. And that, my friends, is where we will end our session this evening.
Damn.
Well, that's just terrible.